Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Saturday to everybody. I want to thank everybody for stopping in on this fine college football Saturday with a bunch of cupcakes. Although the Citadel, they gave Alabama a run for their money during that first half. I don't know what was more entertaining, the first half of the Citadel in Alabama or watching Uncle Lou on Twitter. He was having a field day on Twitter. That was probably better than the game was. Let's see who's in here real quick. Good afternoon, Tiger Nate says, hey there, Pete. Mexico Dig Doctor says, hey, Pete, here's a like for you. Thank you, sir. He can't watch the game today. Have a good one. Well, I appreciate you stopping and dropping a like if you're watching right now. George says, go Syracuse. Jets Yankees says, Bama's now at 24-10. Yeah, the score's 30-10 right now. Tiger Nate says, go Syracuse. Dennis Wilson, what does Notre Dame shame and Clemson have in common? The quarterback leave the game with a concussion from Syracuse. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen any of these other games. I watched the first half of this Alabama Citadel game. I was gonna watch the first quarter of it just to see how Tua looked, because of the his knee and everything, and then I got into it. So I watched the second quarter, and I haven't really watched any of the second half. And I haven't seen any of the other games that are going on. So Billy Dawson's usually the guy that's in here giving me score updates from a lot of the other games that are going on. I know he's at the Alabama game right now, so he won't be doing that. So if somebody else or anybody else or everybody else wants to give me some score updates periodically during this game that I'll be streaming, I'll really appreciate that. What's up, Clemson Carson? Go 1330. Yeah, I did hear just a minute ago before when I was starting the stream up that the Maryland and Ohio State game, Ohio State's losing, right? Yeah, 31-17. Wow. Yes, I guess before this game starts, I'll go ahead and take this opportunity. Number one, to thank everybody who's here, and if whether you're watching this live or on a replay, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I do meaningless and pointless college football videos every week, all year long, even when we're not in the college football season. And I also do a primetime college football game every single weekend, live play-by-play and reaction. Today I'm doing what I consider to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Syracuse and Notre Dame. The only thing I would say about this Syracuse and Notre Dame game is, first of all, I think Syracuse will come out and score in the first half, or at least the first quarter, pretty well. They've been outscoring their opponents all year in the first half by a large margin, and they also score a lot of points per game. They're averaging 44 points per game, which I think is like fourth in the nation. And when I say fourth in the nation, you're talking about Alabama, Oklahoma, Clemson, teams like that score a lot of points. So they're a good they have a great offense. Their defense is not great, but it's not terrible. So Notre Dame's they're gonna have to bring their A game today. But the only thing I would say is that a lot of times when you're a team that's as good as Notre Dame, you overlook a team like Syracuse. I don't think they're overlooked because of, first of all, because of their high ranking, number one. And, everybody and their mother is picking them to be upset. So I don't see Notre Dame overlooking anybody. If Notre Dame loses today, they can't go around saying, oh, we overlooked Syracuse, because that's not the case. But I hope it's a good game either way. That's all I really care about. It's a win-win situation for me. Because I've said before, I want Notre Dame to win out, because I'd like to play Notre Dame in a playoff situation. And where we are right now, that's what would happen, 2-3. But if Syracuse beats Notre Dame, that's a win for me too, because, I'm an ACC guy. And that's obviously Clemson's biggest thorn in their side the past couple of years has been Syracuse. So get a little bit of redemption for that. How you doing, Catfish from the Volunteer Roadshow? How you doing, sir? He says, I'm doing a great show. Well, I appreciate that, sir. You know as well as I do how hard it is to get on the air live and entertain people. If that's what I'm doing here, I hope I am. for any certain amount of time. So that means a lot, sir. Hey, Catfish, are you able to? Well, I know you're not able to watch it, but are you able to listen to the game on the radio? The Tennessee game. Maybe you are able to watch it. I don't know. I don't know what your situation is today, but Nick Bro, good afternoon to you, sir. He says, I don't think Notre Dame is all that good. So it depends. Do you mean, are they the third best team in the country? Because I would tend to agree with you that they're not the third best team in the country. I think they're definitely a top 10 team. We've seen them struggle with some not very good teams. I mean, they went down to the wire with Pitt. They went down to the wire with Ball State. Who else did they struggle with? Didn't they struggle with? There's one more they struggled with. I can't think of who it was. I mean, they had a close game with Michigan. It was a 7-point win, but that was a win. So, I mean, yeah. Thank you, Donnie. Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt's the worst team in the SEC. So, they've had a lot of close wins. They've also had some pretty impressive ones. So they're a very bipolar team, but they're definitely beatable by a team like Syracuse. Yeah, Pitt, Vandy, Ball State. Those were their close wins. Catfish says, yo, yeah, he got XM radio. Yeah, I got that in my car, too. I mean, that's once you have satellite radio, you can't go back. It's addicting, isn't it? Oh, you've got a satellite TV on your truck? That's cool. That's really cool. Who do you think would get the number 4 spot if Notre Dame loses, Oklahoma gets one more loss, and Georgia loses the SEC title game? Wow. There's a lot going on there, sir. All right, let me think about this for a second. So Notre Dame loses, they drop out. Okay. Oklahoma gets one more loss, so they're not in the top 4. And Georgia loses the SEC title game. That would depend on what West Virginia did. If West Virginia continues to win, they would easily hop into that 4th spot. And yeah, I mean, West Virginia is in that scenario. You're saying Oklahoma would lose. That West Virginia would get that spot, provided they continue to win. And otherwise, if West Virginia catches another loss and Oklahoma catches another loss somehow in the next couple weeks, then you would see probably Ohio State if they continue to win. Yeah. Michigan would be in. Michigan's already in. They're already at number 4. So they wouldn't be the one to get the 4th spot. They're already there. Yeah, West Virginia, I agree. By the way, cheers and dilly dilly. Still 15 minutes before this game starts. I was looking at the pictures of the Yankee Stadium. The way they do that field, it's really cool. There's like 4 games that are played at baseball stadiums today. There's one in Boston at the Red Sox Stadium. There's one in Atlanta at Atlanta Stadium. The one in Boston is actually Harvard and Yale, I think. And I forget who the one in Atlanta is. It's a couple of no-name teams. But it looks like a very cool place to watch a Yankee Stadium and Boston for that matter. But it's the way it's laid out. It looks like it would be a really cool place to watch because anybody who's ever been to a baseball stadium, they're much more intimate than football stadiums. I mean, there's a lot less seats, but it's just a lot more intimate. And so I think it would be great. Has anyone ever been to a baseball stadium like that to see a football game? Because I'm telling you, if Clemson or maybe even if it wasn't Clemson, if it was some other great game, and I got a chance to go watch one at a stadium like that, I would love to do that, just for the experience. Glow says he hopes Clemson loses today. He's a Duke fan. Well, I'm sure that pretty much everybody in America outside of Clemson, South Carolina, wants Clemson to lose today. So that's not shocking news to anybody. I mean, whenever you're one of the best teams in America for the better part of a decade, then people want you to lose every week. That just comes with the territory. Miami used to have a baseball/football stadium. Yeah. And then they renovated that. Well, first of all, they built a Marlins stadium in Miami. And then they renovated the Dolphins stadium and put that, I don't know what you call it. It's not a roof, right? It's still open. But it's like these overhanging awnings that shade the crowd, which, by the way, is a great idea because it's hotter than hell in Miami. But it also made the stadium much, much louder because I guess of the vibrations off of the roof or the awning thing. So, yeah. In my scenario happened in Oklahoma and West Virginia end up with 2 losses. I have Washington State in if they went out. So it would come down to a 1-loss Big Ten champ. But okay, so you're saying Michigan's going to win out too. I don't know. There's so many scenarios. But yeah, next on that list would be Michigan, or they would be considered somewhere with Ohio State if Ohio State won out. Anyone who says UCF is the best team in the nation will be kicked from the chat for 5 minutes. No, don't do that, sir. Here's the rules, Glow. I know I made you a mod this week. Here's the rules. People can say whatever they want. I just don't want to hear any, racist comments, homophobic comments, spamming, stuff like that. But they can say whatever they want to about UCF being the best team in the country. They'll make themselves look like idiots. They're the best team in the state of Florida. Well, you know what? You can't really argue with that right now. I would like to see Florida play UCF. I'm actually really interested to see whoever UCF plays in a New Year's Six bowl game this year. I mean, you can make the argument last year. Well, first of all, UCF beat Auburn. They beat Auburn fair and square. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, but you can make the argument if you're an Auburn fan or an SEC fan that Auburn was disappointed. They thought they were going to the playoffs, and then they got went to the the Peach Bowl, right? And they had to play a group of 5 program. They didn't get up for the game. They weren't excited about the game, so they got beat. Well, nobody can make that excuse this year. Whoever they play knows how good UCF is. They know that they beat Auburn last year. UCF is not going to get overlooked by Georgia or LSU or whoever it is. I think it'll be an SEC team that they play. Probably the loser of the SEC title game, I would imagine, just like last year. So you can't make the excuse that you're overlooking UCF if you're playing them in a New Year's Six bowl game this year. So it'd be interesting to see who they play. And by the way, just for the record, whoever they do play, I think they'll lose to. I mean, I think Georgia would beat the ever-living snot out of them. Of course, Alabama would, I think. LSU would be interesting because LSU doesn't have any offense. LSU would have to win the game on defense. That might be the most intriguing matchup, actually, is if LSU played UCF, because UCF does have – listen, they don't have the talent level that any of the SEC schools have, but they can score points, okay? And if you're a team like LSU that has a hard time scoring points, then that could get interesting. But LSU should still beat them, I think. They're much better talent-wise. That would be good too. UCF, Iowa State, or West Virginia. Whoever they play, it will be interesting. Donnie Shepard says LSU would smash UCF. Yeah, I don't know about that. I just don't. And the only reason I say that is because the LSU's offense isn't very good. I mean, obviously LSU's defense is the best defense that UCF's ever seen, probably. But you got to be able to score with those guys. But I agree. I still think LSU would win. I don't know if they would smash them, though. I mean, UCF is not a bad football team. So are they a top 4 team in the country? No. But they are good. UCF versus Oklahoma would be a great offensive game. Yeah, that game might be 100-98 final score. There's going to be some big time upsets, shakeups here, and then in these final 2 weeks of football. I know it. Somebody's going to, whether it's Michigan or Notre Dame today, or Alabama losing to Georgia in the SEC title game. Clemson could. Clemson's not unbeatable, right? They're great, but they're not unbeatable. Nobody is. What if they lost an ACC championship game? There's a lot of different things that can happen that can shake up the top 4 right now. I don't think it's going to look anything like it looks right now. The playoff committee would love for the top 4 teams just to win out. Talk about making their job easier. Listen, if Clemson wins out, Alabama wins out, Notre Dame wins out, Michigan wins out, it's all tied in a big bow for them. They don't have to do anything. There's no controversy. But 1, 2, or 3 of these teams lose a game here or there, it's going to be very controversial. See you later, Catfish. Thanks for stopping in, sir. He says, "Go Vols." The Vols are playing who today? Missouri, right? Yeah. What's up, Clemson Jacob? Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Otherwise, you would not be here. Have you noticed that the SEC is the only Power 5 conference play a bunch of cupcakes this week? Look at the list of games today. Actually, there's several ACC teams playing cupcakes today too. So, not as many as the SEC, but there's I want to say there's at least four or five ACC teams that are playing cupcakes today. So, they're not the only ones that are doing it. They're just doing it the most. And can you blame them? I don't blame them. I'm actually jealous of them because you get to, you get basically an assured win, and you get to rest a lot of your players. And the Citadel just blocked. They're about to get a touchdown. What was that? The Citadel blocked the extra point and then ran it back. And then the guy tried to lateral it, and the Alabama player kicked it out of bounds. It looked like a bloopers video. Anyway, this game's getting out of hand. Anyway, it's 43-10 now. I picked Citadel to cover the spread. The spread was 52. The spread was 52 at the time that I made that pick. I don't know what it is now. But yeah. So I'll get that right. I'm pretty sure Alabama won't cover 52. Ham sandwiches, huh? What's up? Good afternoon, Mark Dudley. Welcome to the stream. He says Michigan is not losing to Indiana. Yeah. What time does that game come on? They're not losing to Indiana. No way. Does that game come on at like 3:30 or something? Clemson versus Duke is one of the best games today. I agree. What's my score prediction for Clemson versus Duke? I'm gonna give Duke their credit. They're good. So listen, there's only 4 teams in all of FBS, or all of the Power 5 at least, that have at least 4 road wins against other Power 5 teams in America. Alabama's one of them. Clemson's one of them. Duke is one of them, and Northwestern's one of them. That's the 4 teams. So Duke plays very well on the road against good opponents. What was the line on that? I didn't even pick the line on that. Forget about the line. I'm going to say 31-24, Clemson. I think I'm giving Duke a lot of credit there, because it could get out of hand. It's an unpredictable game to pick score wise. I mean, the game could be 50-20, or it could be 30-28. I just don't know. Duke's quarterback is really good. He's going to go in the NFL. A lot of people don't know who this kid is. He's a big kid, big arm, and I was looking up some stuff about him online yesterday, because I've seen I think 2 Duke games this year. I saw them beat the ever-loving hell out of Northwestern week 2. But this kid is he's on the radar. He's not going to be like a first-round draft pick, but he's going to get drafted in the NFL probably in the 2nd or 3rd round. He's that good. He's an NFL quarterback. And he's a good runner, yes. Oklahoma has a cupcake game this week. Who they playing? Hold on. Maryland up 7 on Ohio State, so the Ohio State's coming back, huh? What's up, KG4? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Oh, Oklahoma's playing Kansas. They're fighting. They're playing the Fighting Les Miles. You know what's funny? I saw they said something on game day today. I did not know this, but so in 2007, when Les Miles and LSU won their last national championship, right? Do you know? So obviously LSU was number 1 in the country in November and went on to win it all. Do you know who number 2 in the AP poll was in November of 2007 when LSU was number 1? Kansas. Kansas was number 2 in the country in football that year that LSU won the title. Pretty funny. Power 5 conference rankings: 1 SEC, 2 Big 10, 3 Big 12, 4 Pac-12, 5 ACC. I don't know how you can say that. Why would the ACC be behind the Pac-12? I mean, the Pac-12 is terrible. Yeah, the ACC is not good this year, but I mean, the Pac-12 is way worse. ESPN. That's ESPN's opinion. Yeah. So basically it means nothing then. What you're saying. I mean, if you want to talk about national titles, playoff appearances, the ACC and the SEC are at the top of the list. Playoff wins, too. Yeah, ESPN. ESPN, I mean, I don't believe they're like Trump would say fake news. ESPN opinion, and who is ESPN, by the way? It's not a person. But yeah, I don't take anything they say seriously. Good afternoon, Mark Dudley. I think I already said good afternoon to you. But yeah. Greetings from Neyland Stadium. Hound Dog, you're at the game? What time does the game start? I asked somebody that a couple minutes ago. What the Tennessee and Missouri game, what time does that come on? I think that's going to be a good game, by the way. That game, I think, will be close. Adam G, good afternoon to you, sir. Says ESPN is Disney. Yeah. Owned by Disney, that's right. 31-24, Maryland. And that game has got to be what? There's probably about 10 minutes left in that game. KG4 says the only game that he wants Syracuse to win this season is this one. A lot of people are rooting for Syracuse today. And for anybody who's just getting on, thank you for stopping in. I'm going to go ahead and change the channel now because this game's over. And this Syracuse game should be coming on. What is that on ABC? Hold on a second. The hell? If I can find it. NBC, okay. What was I saying? Oh, a lot of people out there want Notre Dame to lose this game. And like I said, but if for anybody who's just joining me, normally I would be rooting for Syracuse to beat Notre Dame because I'm an ACC guy, and it does make Clemson look better. You know, they're a close game if they go out there and beat somebody like Notre Dame. Because I think Syracuse is a good team. But I don't really care. I mean, it's a win-win situation for me. I mean, if Syracuse wins, I think it's funny that they beat Notre Dame. But if Notre Dame wins and wins out, then we get to play them in a playoff situation more than likely. Because I don't think that Notre Dame will lose next week to Southern Cal. I think that's pretty much a sure win. Southern Cal's not very good. They're like 5-5. And so, yeah. So a win-win situation for Pigskin Pete. What's up, Prince 6'1"? How you doing, sir? My man. Clemson Carson's predicting an upset. What's up? Huh? What? It's on NBC. 3:23. All right, Mrs. Pete. Mrs. Pete wants to know what channel the game's on. I lost my train of thought now. Oh, yeah, a lot of people are predicting Syracuse to upset Notre Dame. I don't know how much of that is people believing that or how much people just want that to happen. But so we'll get to see. Has anybody seen these uniforms? That's cool, isn't it? I think that's cool. It's at Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Anyway, has anybody seen these ugly uniforms? They're disgustingly god-awful. They've got baseball pants on, right? Pinstripe pants like the Yankees have. Then they have a, I guess it's their navy blue jersey. And then the helmet. The helmet might be as bad as the pants. The helmet is a black helmet with a white pinstripe, like, circle with a Notre Dame logo over it. I mean, whoever designed those uniforms has no business designing anything. What's up, Adam G? Says, I'm a Syracuse guy. I live just south of Syracuse. Okay. Hard to believe they are irrelevant. Yeah. It's not very hard for me to believe. Listen, Syracuse actually has a history in football. I mean, you want to talk about some SEC teams like South Carolina who has no history of winning anything. Syracuse has national titles. Syracuse has Heisman winners. Syracuse has some of the legends of the NFL and Hall of Famers. So Syracuse actually has a history, and Syracuse has one of the best coaches in the country. I think Dino Babers is one of the best coaches in the country. So good news for Syracuse is you have one of the best coaches in the country who's going to get the most out of your team and your talent. Bad news for Syracuse is you have one of the best coaches in the country, and it's only a matter of time before he leaves there to go somewhere else. But enjoy him for as long as you have him. Notre Dame is in the ACC, basically. I mean, they aren't officially, but yeah. They play 80% ACC schedule. So, and they're in the ACC in every other sport other than football. I mean, they wear an ACC patch on their basketball uniform, their baseball uniform. They have ACC on their court in basketball. They just don't want to be in ACC in football because they want to keep their stupid NBC TV contract that's outdated and expired. But whatever. But they want to pretend like they're independent. Makes them feel better, makes them feel special. And of course, that's very important these days. Everybody needs to feel special, don't they? Syracuse played Clemson tough. Yes, 2 years in a row, didn't they? Hell, they beat them last year. Just because of the ugly uniforms, Syracuse wins. Well, I'd say they deserve to lose because of those uniforms. And meanwhile, the Syracuse uniforms look pretty cool, I think. I like the white helmet with the metallic orange face mask. All white uniforms. They're cool looking. Clemson is wearing all purple today. Yeah, they wear purple every year for Military Appreciation Day. For anybody who doesn't know, Clemson was a military school up until 1952. Yeah, in the 50s, sometime in the 50s. Clemson had out of all the colleges in the country, had the second most World War II vets of any other school. Texas A&M had the most. Clemson had the second most. So, yeah, they were a military school for a long time, and they take Military Appreciation Day very seriously there. The stadium they play in is called Memorial Stadium, and it's a military memorial. And so, yeah, anyway, they wear all purple every year for Military Appreciation Day. I like the all purple uniforms. I mean, I wouldn't want to see them every week, but I like them. They're cool looking. If they went to the ACC, they should still play the Big Ten teams in Stanford and USC, etc. Yeah, I think they could still do that. So the ACC plays 8 conference games, so they'd have room for 4 more games of whoever they wanted to play. So they could keep their rivalry with USC. I think they would. And there's still 3 games left after that, right? They could throw a Big Ten team in there, a Big 12 team in there, and then maybe one cupcake or something. I don't know. But they could still do that if they join the ACC. Here, Prince 6'1", who graduated from Clemson for his master's, I think. He's going to give us a history lesson here because I probably screwed it all up, but I think I was right. It says, initially an all-male, all-white military school, Clemson Agricultural College opened in July 1893, 446 students. Clemson became a co-educational civilian institution in 1955. So I was right, 1950s. Got that right. Yes. Richard Neal, good afternoon to you, says, I'm in tune to my Bulldog game, but coming here during commercials. Yeah, so you get the best of both worlds, sir. You can watch your Bulldog game on TV, and you can listen to the Syracuse and Notre Dame game on your phone or computer or whatever you're watching this stream on. So I'm glad I could provide that service for you. I mean, I'm doing it just for you. Trust me. Whatever makes you happy. I'm here for the people. I'm all about the people. American flag, Paul. Yeah, that actually would be cool. They're not going to do it. You know, have you seen like these? You can go on Google, like all these different alternate uniform ideas, designs. There's some really, really cool ones for Clemson, but they're never going to do it, and I don't really want them to do it. I don't want a situation where they're, looking like Oregon, having a different uniform every week. Dabo Sweeney said because they used to have different uniform combinations every week whenever Bowden was the coach there, and Dabo did not like it. It's the first thing he did when he took over the head coaching job. He said, they have set rules. There's no discussion every week about what the uniform is going to be. It's either going to be, orange jersey, white pants, or all white. Until championship season, then you bring out the orange pants. And they do the purple jerseys once a year for military appreciation. That's it. Keep it simple. And that's coming from an Alabama guy, which is what surprises me about Notre Dame having these stupid uniforms. Because Notre Dame, Alabama, Clemson, a lot of these schools, Penn State, Ohio State, they have USC, they had these iconic uniforms that have never changed in history. And it's just weird to see a school like Notre Dame have an alternate uniform. That's all. Look at the helmet. I mean, those, they look so silly. Like wearing baseball pants in a football game. Mrs. Peete said she thought they looked pretty cool. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of tune with fashion or something. I don't know. I think they're uglier than hell. Yeah, pinstripe pants. And then the pinstripe thing on the sleeves, like, what is that? It just doesn't look right. All right, here we go. So hey, what's up, Christian? How you doing, sir? Stopping in real quick. All right, don't be a stranger. I'll be here for the next 3 hours, sir. So if you get bored or get done doing whatever you're doing, I'll be here for you, sir. I'll be here. But before you leave, hit the like button. Help a brother out, please. This Syracuse offense is hard to prepare for. I think it'll take a quarter or 2 quarters for Notre Dame's defense to be able to adjust to the speed that they play. They run 100 plays a game. If they that's their goal, is to run it somewhere between 85 and 100 plays per game, and that's tough on a defense if they're not used to it. Very tough. Ask Clemson. Yeah, I don't like the Yankees either. So that's all the more reason to hate those uniforms. What's up, Christian A? Christian A? Yes, okay. Making sure I'm reading that right. Who is next for Alabama? I guess Auburn. You're going to heading up to Alabama today for Thanksgiving, and then you'll be in South Carolina for a few days. What part of South Carolina, sir? That's where I am. You have family in South Carolina somewhere? Greenville. That's Clemson territory. Greenville's only about 20 minutes from Clemson, sir. If you've never been to Clemson and you have time, you should drive through there and go get a close-up look at Death Valley if you've never been there. Even if you're not a Clemson fan, it's still cool. I mean, going and seeing some of these iconic stadiums around the country, if I'm ever in the vicinity of one of these universities that has an iconic stadium, I'm going to go out of my way to go look at it and take some pictures. That's just me as a football fan. What's up, Dondre Crawford? How you doing, sir? Oh, your aunt and uncle live there, and they're diehards. Oh, so your aunt and uncle are obviously very smart, intelligent people if they're Clemson fans and they live up there. So. Do I think the Carrier Dome is iconic? It's not iconic as far as football goes. I mean, I think it's cool. It's iconic as a basketball stadium or venue because it's huge. I mean, it holds like 40,000 people, which is, that's enormous for a basketball facility. Not very big for a football facility. I think it is cool though because it's a dome. There's no other college team that has a dome for football. The crowd is right there on top of the field. It's cool. I don't know about iconic is the right word for it. All right, so here we go. And it looks like Notre Dame is going to receive the ball first. And there's a touchback. So they will take over at the 25-yard line. Here we go. All right, 1st and 10. And it's complete for about 9 yards. Let's see where they spot that. I think it's going to be just short of the first down. So Ian Book is in the game here. For anybody who doesn't know, Ian Book was injured last week, and they played Wimbush for the Florida State game. But he's back this week. Yeah, so 2nd down and 1. And Book complete over the middle for a first down, right around the 36-yard line. Yeah, the Syracuse Dome is loud. They call it the noise box, I think. All right, 1st and 10. Book has all day, and he's going to keep it and pick up about 5 or 6 yards there. Maybe 2nd and 3 or 4 here. See where, just depending on where they spot it. So far, they're not getting any pressure on him. He's just standing back there with all day to throw the ball. Second and 4. And it's a pitch to the running back, and the running back's going to pick up a first down and more, just short of the 50-yard line. 1st and 10, Notre Dame. Yeah, so far, a few plays into this game, Syracuse's defensive line is not getting any penetration. Now, Notre Dame is known for having a very good offensive line. I mean, they have an NFL type of offensive line. But it's going to be a long day if Syracuse can't get any penetration, and Ian Book's just able to stand back there in the pocket like that. Got to get some kind of pressure on that kid. And Syracuse is going to tackle the running back for a loss. So finally, a little bit of life from the Syracuse defensive line. Second down and 13. And Book is flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to throw it to the right, complete for, I guess, about 7 yards. It's going to be 3rd and, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. Yeah, 3rd and 7. So it's a big 3rd down here. This would be big for Syracuse to get a stop here on this first drive. Keep them well out of field goal range. See if they can make a stop here. What's up, Notre Dame Nation? How you doing, sir? Ian Book back to pass. And it's going to be batted down by the defender. Good defensive play there. 4th and 7. He's actually lucky that wasn't picked off. That could have easily been picked off. I don't know why he threw that ball. He was double covered. But anyway, Notre Dame's going to punt now. So good, solid defensive stand by Syracuse there on that first drive. Hold on. So from the 50-yard line, the punt is up. And it's a fair catch by Syracuse at the 16-yard line. So we'll see what Syracuse has on offense here. This is what I've been telling you guys. Now watch this. For anybody who hasn't watched any Syracuse games, if you're a Notre Dame fan, even, watch how fast Syracuse plays. A lot of teams try to do this. A lot of teams try to do the hurry-up offense. We've seen Auburn trying to do it, and they're just terrible at it. These guys do it as good as anybody in the country does. The only team, if I'm going to compare them to another hurry-up offense that was very successful, if you want to remember back to the Chip Kelly days at Oregon, they had that thing running like a machine, running 90 plays a game, and it was just everybody knew what they were doing on the offense. That's how Syracuse is. These guys, they have a lot of upperclassmen on this team. The quarterback is great at running the system, and they have this thing down to a science. So keep an eye on that, and watch how it affects the Notre Dame defense. I promise you it will. At least in the first half until they can adjust to it, get used to it. Pete, my TV is ahead of yours whenever you say the play is already in the next play. There's a delay on YouTube. Your TV is not ahead of mine. It's just whenever I speak into this microphone, you're not going to hear what I say in real time. It's going to be in, probably about 20 seconds later. So that's why. Yeah, YouTube delay. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Hey, Mark Dudley, who do you have a preference on who wins this game? Do you, I mean, you probably don't care. As far as Michigan goes, you got to win out. I mean, you need to win the Big Ten and win out, right? But do you hate Notre Dame, or do you find any joy in watching Notre Dame lose, or do you want Notre Dame to win to make Michigan's win over them look better? No, Notre Dame beat Michigan. Never mind. Anyway, who do you want to win this game, or do you care? What's up to Goat Watson? Why is Notre Dame so hated? I think, well, that's a loaded question. I think that the fact that they're independent and they don't join a Power 5 conference, that annoys me. Okay, I don't hate Notre Dame, but it annoys me that somehow, I don't know, they think that they're better than everybody. They're basically an ACC team, but they claim that they're not. If I were the ACC, I would not give these guys this sort of deal that they have where they can play an ACC schedule, but they don't have to contribute financially to the ACC. Just as I don't like it. But as far as why everybody else hates them, I can't answer that for you. What's up, Billy Dawson? How you doing, sir? All right, so I missed the first play there. So it's they picked up 4 yards, 2nd and 6, and the pass is batted down. They're going to call that a fumble? No, incomplete pass. So good defensive play there by Notre Dame. They batted down the pass there. It's going to be 3rd down and 6. Here we go. Dungey's back to pass. Incomplete. So a 3-and-out situation for Syracuse in their first drive there. They're going to have to punt. So a good defensive stand by Notre Dame there. Nobody hates on Army, Liberty, or New Mexico because they're not Power 5. I mean, they're not considered a Power 5 team. Notre Dame considers themselves to be a Power 5 team, right? But they're not in a conference. And it has nothing to do with the money they make either, because that was true 30 years ago. It's not true now. The TV contract that Notre Dame signed with NBC, however long ago it was, 25 or 30 years ago, was at the time a groundbreaking contract. It made them the richest football program in America just by signing that contract. Well, a lot has changed since they've signed that contract. They're not the richest school in America anymore. They don't bring in the most. They're not even in the top 5 as far as TV revenue. Their deal with NBC is outdated, so they can't use that excuse anymore. It's just the times have changed, man. It's time to join a conference, okay? I don't know what else to tell you. That's why people don't like them. Yeah, and they're a private school. They're a Catholic school. They don't take JUCO transfers. There's just a lot of things like that rub people the wrong way as far as, they feel as if they're better than everybody else or something. I don't know. Glow keeps wanting me to say, don't steal Oklahoma's traditions, Notre Dame. I don't know what he's talking about, but there you go. I said it. What's the benefits of being in a Power 5 conference? Well, you can lose a game and still make the playoffs, number one. Also, they split all the TV revenue amongst the conference. 2nd and 16, and it's a complete pass Oh, no, incomplete. I thought he caught it. So it's going to be 3rd and long here. Yeah, so to go, Watson, to answer your question, here's just a little. So somebody was saying last night on my stream about Texas A&M shouldn't have joined the SEC. Well, Texas A&M got a lot richer by joining the SEC. The minute they joined the SEC, hold on, here we go, 3rd and 16. Ian Book, complete over the middle, and he's going to get a first down and more, I think. Where's that first down marker at? Yeah, he got it. Big time 3rd down conversion there by Notre Dame. The minute Texas A&M joined the SEC, they get $48 million. Each school in the SEC gets $48 million from the SEC for TV revenue. 1st and 10. Book, complete for a big gain there in the red zone, all the way down to about the 12-yard line. I think he's out of bounds there. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from just outside of the 10-yard line. So to answer your question, there's a financial benefit to it, as well as in the playoff era, having a conference championship game definitely helps you. 1st and 10, Ian Book is going to keep it, and then he throws it to the sideline complete, and he's going to be out of bounds right around the 9-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down, and I don't know, 2nd and 5, I think, or 4, 6. Yeah, but Ian Book is a good quarterback. He is. Second and 4. And he's going to be, are they going to call that a touchdown? Yeah, touchdown. Notre Dame. That was an impressive drive there. 6 plays, 55 yards. Oh, so I need to change the score. Thanks for... Yeah, so right now, Notre Dame's offense looks really good. And listen, if you just look at the size of these guys, there's a clear size difference between the Notre Dame offensive lineman and the Syracuse defensive lineman. Syracuse has got to find a way to get some sort of pressure on Ian Book, or he's just going to pick him apart. It's going to be a very long day if Syracuse can't get pressure. But don't ever get comfortable with a small lead on Syracuse, because they can score, and they can score quickly. All right. Here we go. Thank you. I just updated the score. Appreciate it. Basically, home field advantage, you mean for Syracuse? Yeah, I don't know how much of a home field advantage is for Syracuse. I'm sure that half of that stadium, if not more, is probably Notre Dame fans. They have tons of fans all over the country. Believe me, I went to a Clemson and Notre Dame game in 2015, and I've never seen so many away fans at a Clemson game in my life. They travel very well. Who did I pick in this game? You know what? I don't know if I did pick the game. I picked the spread. I picked Syracuse to cover the spread because it was a 10-point spread, and I thought that was too much. I didn't pick the game. I just said I thought it would be whoever won, it would be by less than a touchdown. And I'm still going to stick by that for right now. Score prediction for the Clemson versus Duke game. Good afternoon, Clemson football. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Otherwise, you would not be here. I think I gave my prediction earlier in the stream. It's going to be, I said 31-24. Do I think UAB will beat A&M? No, I don't. They certainly could. Go 1330 says he watches Notre Dame because he's a Catholic. That's the only reason. Yeah, well, I come from a Catholic family as well. My mom loves Notre Dame. So she's right there with you. But all right, so they're going to kick it off, and Syracuse is going to return it to about the 31-yard line. Okay, Clemson football, you're KG4. Thank you, sir. I'm surprised that name was available on YouTube. Clemson football wasn't taken? Hey, Billy, did you have a good time, man, at the game? Things got a little bit hairy there in the first half, didn't they? Yeah, I mean, it's... Hold on, I'll get back to my thought in a second here. 1st and 10. Dungey intercepted by Notre Dame, and he's still running it back. Inside the 20, inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Mental mistake there. I don't know what he was looking at. The Notre Dame defender just read that all the way. He just jumped the route, and he never had any intention of trying to tackle the receiver. He was trying to catch that ball the whole time. He was spying the quarterback, and he just made a great play there. And Dungey, I don't know what you're looking at. I mean, the guy's just standing right there. He's standing right there. What are you looking at, man? So a combination of a great defensive play by Notre Dame and just a mental error by Dungey there. He shouldn't have thrown that ball there. So from the 15-yard line, there's a flag on the play right when they snapped it. False start against Notre Dame. Who is the best quarterback in the nation who doesn't wear crimson? So you're eliminating Tua and you're eliminating Kyler Murray, right? Is that what you're doing? I mean, you know I'm biased. I love my boy Trevor, but hold on a second. 1st and 15. And they're going to run it up the middle for a very short gain. Picked up about 2 yards there. I'd have to say Will Greer, West Virginia. Second down and 11. And it's complete at the 10-yard line. It gets down to about the 9-yard line or 8-yard line there. It's going to be 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 or 4. Listen, if you're Syracuse right now, holding Notre Dame to a field goal, this is a huge 3rd down here because holding Notre Dame to a field goal would be a massive win here after just giving up an interception, in your own territory like that. So let's see what they can do. 3rd and 3. Incomplete. Fourth down. I'm assuming they're going to bring out the field goal unit here. We'll see. Hey, what's up, a Pack fan? How you doing, sir? You thought Trevor Longhair Lawrence was a guitar player in a band. Okay. Yeah. So it's a 27-yard field goal attempt here. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So we're going to be 10-0. 7 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first quarter, and the score is 10-0, Notre Dame. Hey, what's up, Jamie McCaslin? How you doing, sir? Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do a lot of trash talking about Miami today. I don't want to, So don't worry, Jamie, or even Dennis Wilson. Dennis Wilson, you can't get me mad today, sir. I think I've done enough trash talking about Miami. I don't want to beat a dead horse, so to speak. What time does that game come on, by the way? The Virginia Tech and Miami game. Does that come on tonight? All right, change the score there. Yeah, I know it doesn't bother you. I was just kidding anyway. Oh, it comes on at 3:30. Are you gonna watch it? It's too bad, man, that Virginia Tech and Miami just fell off the way they did this year, because that was looking like that was one of the games I had circled on my calendar to watch, man. I mean, in all seriousness, if the teams were anywhere close to the hype that they were hyped up to before the season started, that might have been where game day was today. But yeah, it's not, obviously. I mean, hell, they went to UCF instead. That's sad. Yeah, you're gonna watch it. Miami is only allowed to play on Fridays with high school football teams. Now Dennis Wilson has resorted to trashing his own team. Never thought I'd see the day. Yeah, if I were a Miami fan, I would not jump off the cliff. I mean, I know your season's terrible, but I don't know. Everybody's ready to fire Mark Richt. I wouldn't go as far as to even doing that. I mean, first of all, if you're going to fire the guy, you better make sure you have somebody better to hire, because let's look at the recent history of Miami coaches before they hired Richt. I mean, it's not a very good list there. So you don't want to go backwards. A lot of these schools, man, they're quick to fire their coach, and then they're like, okay, crap. Now who's the next coach? And then they get one that's worse than the one they had. Ace Outlaw, we don't need Kelly Bryant. Well, you're going to get your wish, Ace, because I don't think he's going to go there. I really don't. I'd be surprised if he did. I still think he'd be an upgrade. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to. I don't know enough about Nkosi Perry to make that call, really. But all right, so the game's back on here. It's 1st and 10, Syracuse from the 25-yard line. And they're going to run it up the middle for about 3 yards there. So we'll be, I think, 2nd and 6 officially. And Syracuse, of course, is doing this hurry-up deal here. Another run. And he's going to pick up about 10 yards there. First down, Syracuse. That's I think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the first down that Syracuse has had today. So 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Dungey looks a little confused. He's doing a lot of audibles here, and they normally run a lot more plays a lot quicker. So anyway, he's going to hand the ball off up the middle for about a 3 or 4 yard gain on that one. Normally what you see is that Syracuse already knows what they want to do, and they run the play very quickly. We've seen, I don't know what he's seeing from the defense, but he's changing a lot of plays and is slowing their offense down here a little bit. 2nd down and 4. Dungey back to pass, and it's going to be complete all the way down to the 45-yard line of Notre Dame. 1st and 10, Syracuse. Urban crying is a beautiful thing. First and 10. Dungey with the quarterback keeper, and he's going to pick up about 2 or 3 yards there. That was a designed quarterback run there. I don't know what they saw, but 5 minutes and 53 seconds left here in the first quarter. It's 10-0 Notre Dame over Syracuse. 2nd down and 6, and Dungey falls on the ground out of nowhere, and he's holding his back. What the hell just happened? Did you guys see that? What just happened there? He just like fell down on the ground and he was hurt before the play. That's weird. It looked as if his leg was injured, the way he was limping, but then he fell down and started grabbing his lower back. So I don't know what's going on here. Huh. I hope he's okay. Some Clemson fan was saying Kelly Bryant was going to Michigan. Michigan is about 7 quarterbacks on their roster. Well, no, he's not going to Michigan. First of all, they don't need Kelly Bryant at Michigan. Number 2, he never visited there. I mean, I don't know what Clemson fans said that, but they were stupid. They said that. He's never spoke about Michigan. They've never reached out to him. Yeah, so that's not happening. Yeah, if Dungey is somehow not in this game, then stick a fork in Syracuse. I mean, he is the engine that makes that offense go. They have a great offense, Syracuse does, but he's the guy that they need to run it. Backup quarterback is not beating Notre Dame. Sorry. The reason I say that is because Syracuse doesn't have the defense to keep them in it. You know. What's up, First Down? Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Otherwise, you would not be here. What is the Ohio State-Maryland score? I don't know. What's going on, Ace Outlaw? I missed something? All right, so the game's back on. They're bringing him off the field. I don't know. It doesn't look good. He needs help to get off the field. That's not good news. I still can't see what happened, though. I mean, how he got hurt. Weird. He's clearly in a lot of pain, though. Huh. He's going to the locker room. That's not good. Not good at all. So 2nd down and 6. The backup quarterback is in. And he's going to throw it deep. And it's a touchdown. Oh, he dropped it. He had it in his hands in the end zone and dropped it. That's on the receiver. Dude, man, you had it in your hands, man. That was almost. I mean, that was about as close to his catch as you can get. They almost could have called that a catch and a touchdown. But anyway. So what's the 3rd and 6? Another deep ball, and it's overthrown. The receiver had the Notre Dame defender beat on that one too. He just got overthrown. Bad pass by DeVito. Somebody, where's my Syracuse fans at on here? Somebody tell me something about this kid. I have no idea anything about this backup quarterback for Syracuse, DeVito. Obviously, he's not Tony Dungey. I already know that. So, but is there anything that we should know about this kid? Is he a good runner? Is he known for his passing, running? What is he? Tell me something about him. 4th and 6, and they're going to do a pooch punt here. And they're going to down that. That was a very well executed punt there. Going to down the ball at the 4-yard line. So. Jamie is saying that he thinks that that Perry could be good if he had a good quarterback coach and a good play caller. I mean, I know he's a very talented kid coming out of high school. I do know that much. Who are my top edge rush? Good afternoon, Chaos, the Filthy. Hold on. 1st and 10, Notre Dame. And they're going to run it to the left for about 5 yards. It's going to be, I think, it's 2nd down and 5 from the 10-yard line. I would have to put my. I don't know if Austin Bryant from Clemson will go in the 1st or 2nd round. I do know that. Hold on one second. 2nd down and 5. And they're going to run it up to the left. And he's going to be taken down for a loss there. It's going to be 3rd and 6, I think. Let me think about that. Because there's well, first of all, Bosa. Bosa will probably be the first one. Ed Oliver. Now, Ed Oliver, he doesn't play. Does he play defensive end at Houston, or does he play tackle? Whatever it is, he's going to be playing. He's going to be drafted as a defensive end, I think, in the NFL. So you have Ed Oliver, Bosa. One of the 2 defensive ends from Clemson will definitely be in the top 15. And, of course, you have Christian Wilkins, but he's a tackle. Hold on, 3rd and 3. And it's going to be complete for a 1st down. 1st and 10, Notre Dame. Yeah, Ed Oliver is a tackle, but I think he's going to be drafted as a defensive end in the NFL, I think. First and 10, and it's going to throw it deep. And how do you let him catch that? I mean, big pass play there, all the way up to the 50-yard line. It was about a 20-yard pass play, but he was covered by the Syracuse player. That could have been an intercept. I mean, first of all, look at this. What are you doing, man? Just first of all, it was a great catch because he was falling backwards and jumping, but a bad defensive play there. So 1st down and 10 from the 50-yard line. And it's going to be complete. 20, 10, 5. Pushed out of bounds at the 2 or 1 yard line. Notre Dame is just rolling Syracuse right now. Syracuse just can't stop them. And I'm not surprised at all that Notre Dame is able to move the ball pretty easily on Syracuse's defense. I'm a little bit surprised that Syracuse has struggled on offense the way they have. 1st and goal, and he's going to be taken down right around the line of scrimmage there. 2nd and goal. OG Matt 123 says, in his opinion, this quarterback is better than Dungey. That's a pretty bold statement there, sir. I mean, Dungey's a big kid, and he knows that offense. He's 6'4", 235. That's a grown man at the quarterback position. He's big. And he's got a big arm, and he's probably the best runner of the football in the ACC as far as the quarterback goes. Second and goal. And they're going to be held short all the way down to about the 1.5 yard line there. So it's going to be third and goal from just outside of the 1 yard line. Falcons Fury says this quarterback is better than Dungey. So a lot of people are saying that. Is there a reason that this kid is not the starter over Dungey then? I mean, I realize that Dungey's an upperclassman, but if he's better, why is he not the starter? Third and goal, and it's going to be a touchdown, Notre Dame. I ran the ball to the left there. So what we've seen here in this first quarter, flag on the play. And they're going to call it against Notre Dame. So they're going to repeat third down. Called it back. Ace Outlaw says, here come the play action touchdown. I agree. I think that's what you're going to see here. And if me and you know that, then I'm sure the Syracuse offense knows it. But knowing it and stopping it are two different things. But this is play action territory for sure. Falcons Fury, you're having a turkey sandwich this time instead of ham, huh, for Thanksgiving. Third and goal from the 12-yard line after the penalty there. Book. And it's that ball was tipped, and I don't know how the hell that wasn't intercepted. The Syracuse is just, I mean, they're killing themselves. I mean, you got to give credit to Notre Dame for playing well. But, I mean, there's just been, like, a handful of just terrible mental mistakes by Syracuse. Like this one. This ball needs to be intercepted. Like the big 25-yard pass play at the beginning of this drive where the Notre Dame player was well covered and the Syracuse player just didn't even – I mean, he just let him catch the ball. He didn't try to defend it at all. 30-yard field goal attempt. And it's going to be good. So it's going to be 13-0. Notre Dame over Syracuse with about a minute, just over a minute left in the first quarter here. I'm going to change the score before I forget. Yeah. All right, so what I've been hearing from people in the chat, now that I have a minute to talk while there's a commercial on here. For anybody who's just stopping in, thank you for stopping in. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. But so Dungey gets knocked out. He's injured. He went to the locker room, which isn't a good thing. That means they're probably either giving him some sort of medical attention or he's getting some sort of X-ray to see if something's fractured or broken, which is not good. But some of you are saying that the backup quarterback for Syracuse is better than Dungey, and that's news to me. So what is it about this kid that makes him better than Dungey? Is he a better passer? Is that what it is? All right, here we go. First down and 10. And it's going to be a run for about 6-yard gain there for Syracuse. Be second down and 4, I think, or second and 5. We'll see where they officially spot it here. Second down and 4 from the 31-yard line. And it's going to be another handoff. Big run up the middle for a first down and more. Syracuse is having some success running the ball between the tackles so far in this first quarter. They're not very successful throwing the ball quite yet, as of now. First and 10 from the 40. Another run. And he's going to break a couple of tackles and move out to the right, and he's going to pick up about 8 yards there, so that he made something out of nothing there. Yeah, I thought he was going to get taken down for maybe a 1-yard gain there, and he broke a couple of tackles, moved out to the outside, and they're going to say 2nd and 4, so he picked up 6 yards there. And there's only a couple of seconds in the first quarter left. But they get the snap off, and he's going to get no gain. So it's going to be 3rd and 4. That's the end of the first quarter. I got to pee. So, end of the first quarter. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back. That's the problem with drinking beer while you're watching football. You know, I got to pee every 30 minutes. So what's the score of the Ohio State game with Maryland right now? Thank you. So we got the beginning of the second quarter here. Let me change the quarter before I forget. Third and 4. Intercepted by Notre Dame. So that's the second interception of this game for Notre Dame's defense so far. And Dino Babers is not happy. He's giving a talking to his quarterback there. (38-38). Well, what's up, NASA CGI Snakes? How you doing, sir? It's tied 38 at all, huh? That sounds like a good game. So I just heard somebody say this game is over. Not yet. It seems like, well, I've done a game every week almost, and the vast majority of them have been blowouts. 1st and 10, Notre Dame, and the quarterback is dancing around and finally gets taken down for no gain there. So 2nd down and 13. And he's going to hand it off. And about a 12-yard gain there. Let's see where they spot this. I think they're going to give him the first down though. Yeah, first down and 10. They gave it to him. And Book passes, and it's complete to the left. And he's going to pick up about 7. He was tripped up there. If he wouldn't have been tripped up, he might have been gone. Anyway, it's going to be 2nd and short here. I want to say 2nd and 2 or 3. Yeah, I mean, Syracuse hasn't been able to stop Notre Dame all day. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop them. See what they can do here. 2nd and 3. And it's another. Oh, he dropped it. So that would have been complete for a first down, but the Notre Dame receiver just dropped it. So it's going to be 3rd and 3. Maryland at the 1. 1:52 to go. Third and 3. Book flushed out, and it's going to be incomplete. So that's a good stop by the Syracuse defense. They needed that big time. 4th and 3, and looks like the punting unit is going to come on to the field for Notre Dame. The refs are literally cheating. Why? What's going on? Pass interference call for Ohio State, huh? And the punt is up. And it's a terrible punt. So Syracuse is going to take over right around the 42-yard line. I don't know what the hell that was. It just came off of his foot weird. Bad punt there. So decent field position here to start this drive for Syracuse, but they got to get something going offensively. They've had some pretty good success running the ball, but passing they've been terrible so far. I would stick with what works if I'm Syracuse. You got your backup quarterback in there. You're able to run the ball with some success against Notre Dame. And at this point, you need to ground and pound and try to stay in the game and manage the clock and keep Notre Dame's offense on the sideline. But Syracuse is not necessarily built to do that. They're a fast-playing team. They like to throw it all over the place. So it'll be interesting to see how they game plan this the rest of the way. Trivia question. What is Oklahoma's overall record versus Alabama? I'm assuming that since you're asking me that Oklahoma has a winning record over Alabama lifetime. I can't imagine that they've played each other an awful lot over the years. So I'll say 5-3. Oklahoma's winning record over Alabama. That's my guess. I don't know. I have no clue. That's my guess. So go ahead and tell me. Nebraska won. Huh? Touchdown, Maryland. They fumbled the ball and recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown, huh? So the answer to the trivia question is 1, 1, and 1. Okay. So Maryland's going to be up by 7 points, right? Is that what you're saying? And there's 1 minute and 41 seconds left, and Ohio State's going to get the ball back. Is that what you're telling me? I'd like to see Syracuse score here just to keep this game interesting, quite honestly. No timeouts left for Ohio State. The play is under review. They review every scoring play, so that's not surprising at all. So 1st and 10, Syracuse. And he's going to pick up about, oh my God, he fumbled it. Recovered by Notre Dame. I mean, the guy just got like a 12-yard run there and just fumbled it when he fell to the ground. What are they going to? So they're trying to say he's down. Dino Babers is rallying to say that he was down, and he was down. Yeah, they'll Syracuse will keep the ball. His knee and his elbow were both down before he fumbled. So I'm assuming they will overturn this fumble on the field call here. We'll see. He was definitely down. I'm surprised that they didn't say he was down, for the original call there. I mean, listen, if you're an Ohio State fan, even if you win this game today, forget about it. You're not making the playoff. You're not beating Michigan. Even if you somehow by some miracle do beat Michigan, there's nobody in that top 4 that you're beating. You're not beating Clemson. You're not beating Alabama. You're not beating Notre Dame. So it doesn't matter. Ohio State's just not good this year. I don't want to say they're not good, but they're not as good as everyone thought that they were going to be. That's all. Yeah, so they reviewed it and they overturned the call, so they're saying he was down. And so it's going to be a 1st down, Syracuse. I agree. I don't think they'd beat Oklahoma either. I don't think they beat West Virginia, Oklahoma. Yeah. So 1st and 10. And they're going to run it up the middle for a loss. Big loss. Ran into a brick wall there. Yeah, so the USC and UCLA games today. That's a big rivalry. Go 1330 is a Trojans fan, for anybody who didn't know. It is one of the top 3 rivalries in college football. I agree with that, sir. 2nd down and 10. What's up, Josh? So complete for about a 6-yard gain there. So it's going to be 3rd and 4, I think, here. Syracuse has the ball. They're down 13-0. For anybody who's just stopping in here, Tony Dungey, the starting quarterback for Syracuse, left the game a couple of drives ago with an undisclosed injury. I don't know if it was his leg or his back. It was hard to tell. And if not for a couple of bad turnovers here by Syracuse, this game would be a lot closer. But nonetheless, Notre Dame's winning 13-0. Alabama basically schedules a bye week and no one bats an eye. Yeah, well, can you blame them? Their formula is working. So, and it's not just Alabama either. It's 10 of the SEC teams have cupcake games this week, and I think 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know the exact number, ACC teams have cupcake games this week as well. So, Clemson Carson, all right, man. See you soon. Notre Dame has a top 5 defense. Yeah, their defense looks really good. Hey, go 1330. You think your Trojans are going to win today? I mean, I know obviously you're going to say yes because you're a Trojans fan, but are you worried about it at all? UCLA has only won 3 games this year. I mean, they're not good, but I mean, Southern Cal's not very good either. And by the way, where's that game being played at? Is it in the Coliseum or is it in the Rose Bowl? Tie game. Both teams suck. It's in the Rose Bowl. Okay. Not that that's much of a. I mean, you have two teams in the same city. It's not like it's, you know, a major home field advantage for one team or the other. But TCU won 16-9. Who did they play? Talk about a underwhelming, underperforming team. TCU has been massively disappointing. I picked TCU as a dark horse to win the Big 12 before the season started. Boy, was I wrong about that. I can't wait till the season's over. I'll go through and do where I was right and where I was wrong about my preseason predictions. They'll be entertaining this year because some of the ones I got wrong. TCU is one of them. I'm not going to spill, you know, all the beans here and tell everybody what that video is going to be like, but that I did that video last year after last year's season, and it was fun to do. (51-46), West Virginia beats Oklahoma State. Not surprising there. 3rd and 6. And a big loss, sacked at the 50-yard line. Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure. This quarterback, DeVito, he's not near the runner that Dungey is. That's Dungey's specialty, is to get out of pressure like that and make something out of nothing. This kid's not a runner. He must just be more of a pocket passer, from what I can tell. So Syracuse is going to punt. The punt is up. Syracuse, again, another penalty, interfered with the kick. What are they doing? They are just making bad mistake after bad mistake. They're lucky they're only down by 13 right now with the mistakes that they've made. They could easily be down by 3 or 4 touchdowns. I mean, I'm glad I'm not a Syracuse fan. I'd be pissed right now. The Oklahoma State-West Virginia game hasn't started. Okay. Somebody's trolling me then. Anyway, so after the penalty, it's going to be at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Notre Dame. The 26-yard line. And Book complete to the right. And he breaks a couple of tackles. I think he got a first down there before he got knocked out of bounds. If not, he's going to be just short. So they're going to mark him out just short there. So anyway, 2nd and 1. Book throws a screen pass complete for a first down and more. He's going to be taken down around the 35-yard line. Notre Dame is doing a lot of these little bubble screens and just, Syracuse has no answer for it. I'll get back to that in a second. 1st and 10. And a big completion down the left sideline, right around the 32-yard line for Notre Dame. 1st and 10, Notre Dame. Just picking them apart. The pass coverage for Syracuse has been atrocious today. Atrocious. And the Syracuse defender is complaining, saying that there was a push-off there. I didn't see that. 1st and 10. And there's a flag on the play. I don't know, there's a false start. Yeah, false start, Notre Dame. Ohio State just scored. So how much time is left in that game now? I mean, hell, there's only 1 minute and 40 seconds left before the drive started, right? 1st and 15, Notre Dame, after the false start penalty there from the Syracuse 37-yard line. And you're going to hand it off, run up the middle for about a 2-yard gain there. So it's going to be 2nd and, I think, 13 here. 44 seconds left, huh? So they scored in a minute. Maryland blocked the extra point. So 2nd and 13. I see. He's lying. Trolling. Stop trolling me, sir. I'm trying to call a game here. Timeout by somebody there. Who was it? Timeout Notre Dame. Did I pick that game? No, I didn't. Notre Dame is showing Clemson how to smack Syracuse around, huh? Yeah, the Citadel was showing everybody how to smack Alabama around for that first half of that football game when they were running it down Alabama's throat. Unbeatable Alabama. Had a hard time stopping. Hell, Citadel had like almost 200 yards rushing in the first half against that almighty Alabama defense. Yeah. Would I expand the playoffs to 8 teams or even 16 teams? No, I wouldn't. If you're asking me, my preference would be a 6-team playoff. I actually like it at 4. But I think that 6 is fair to get a couple of the outliers in there, make it more exciting. Give a first round bye to seeds number 1 and 2. I think 8 would be the maximum that I would like to see. No more than 8. I mean, I don't even want 8, but 8 is the max. 10 teams, 12 teams, 16 teams. No, I do not want to see a 16-team playoff. I think that would ruin college football, in my opinion. So, yeah, 6 teams I think is where I'd like to see it go. If it's going to change, which it will change. I think it'll change to 8, most likely. The 5 conference champions, a group of 5 representative Notre Dame and 2 wild cards. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I'm not so sure that I like the automatic bid into the playoff by winning your conference argument. I don't because winning your conference, if you listen, so the Pac-12 conference winner this year, let's say a conference winner some year, and this could happen. Let's put it this way. So Pittsburgh this year, let's assume that they win the Coastal, which we think they will, and play Clemson. Pittsburgh has 3 or 4 losses, and so let's say Pitt beat Clemson. Right? Pitt's not even ranked right now. So what, they would get in the playoff as a 4-loss team? I don't think that's fair. So I don't like the automatic bid idea. I don't like the you win your conference, you get in thing. Now you can make it a prerequisite that you have to win your conference to get in, but you don't get an automatic bid if you do. If you want to do it that way. Anyway, 2nd and 13. And it's going to be a run to the left by the quarterback. He's going to pick up about 4 yards there, I think. So 3rd down, Notre Dame. Yeah. Listen, I could talk all day about this playoff expansion thing. I did a stream on it the other day. So I guess go back and watch that. I don't know. I spent about 30 minutes giving my ideas on the playoff expansion. 3rd and 7, and it's going to be complete. And he's going to get down inside the 10-yard line. Notre Dame, 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Devin, good afternoon to you, sir. And 1st and goal, and it's going to be incomplete pass. So 2nd and goal. I agree with that, Josh. No matter how many teams you put in the playoffs, there's always going to be there's no such thing as a perfect system. There's never going to be. listen, we complained about the BCS system for all those years, and then we went to the playoff, and everybody's complaining about that, and they want to go back to a computer picking it. So, I mean, nobody's ever happy. 2nd and goal, and he's going to hand it off, and he's going to get down inside the 5-yard line to about the 3. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line for Notre Dame. What's up, Mel and Matt? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. But, yes, I completely agree, Josh, with what you said. I like it the way it is. I think people need to just stop crying about it. 3rd and goal. And he got a trick play there, and he's going to trip. And he's not going to get in. He's going to be down at the 1-yard line. And he would have. And Dino Babers calls a timeout. Did you see him running down that sideline? He's faster than anybody on his team, ain't he? Yeah. Do you agree that the Final Four allows too much favoritism in pushing out contender to the 5 or 6 spot? I'm not sure I quite understand exactly what you're saying there. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. I think I know what you're saying, but I don't know what, I guess my answer would be no to if I think what you're saying is what you're saying. No, don't put him in timeout. Let him type all day he wants, and he makes himself look like an idiot. 4th and goal. Intercepted by Syracuse in the end zone. I mean, he should have just that was a mental mistake there by Ian Book. He tripped as the ball was hiked, and he was going to take a obvious sack on 4th down, and he just threw the ball in the air. I don't know what he was trying to do there, but that was a bad play. He'd have been better off just taking the sack there. Anyway, Syracuse not only stops Notre Dame from scoring, but they get a turnover there. I think he's saying like the committee will always vote the more major teams or school they went to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I know that it's easy to point to people on the committee and say this guy is biased this way or that way. And listen, there may be some sort of bias. No matter your humans are biased by nature. I get that. But there's also 13 of them. It's not just 1 or 2 guys in there making the decisions. They're former coaches. They're former players. I mean, hell, Ronnie Lott is on the committee. I think that these guys actually do take some sort of pride in what they do and are trying to be as fair as possible. And I think that I like it better than putting numbers into a computer and a computer spitting out who's best, because a computer does not watch football. A computer has never coached football. A computer has never played football. And stats do not tell the whole story. So I like the way it is now. Is there some bias here or there? I'm sure that's going to happen. But like I said before, you're never going to have a perfect system. And I think that of all of the different ways that you can do it, this is the best system that we've had to date. I mean, hell, before the BCS, it was just a bunch of writers, right? I mean, sports writers that voted. It was a popularity contest. It was basically like voting the Heisman. Does the Heisman always go to the best player in the country? No, but it goes to the most popular player in the country, and that's what the national championships used to be awarded that way, and the rankings. Then we went to the BCS. Now we're here. I think out of all those different systems, what we have now is the best system so far. Can it be improved? Yes. But I like it the way it is. I'm not crying and screaming about the way it is now like everybody else is. It's much better than the BCS system ever was, in my opinion. But Who am I? I'm just some idiot with a YouTube channel. So, hey, Pete, how about they make 16 playoff, do it like the NFL? I don't know. Anything like the NFL, I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be like the NFL at all. As a matter of fact, I hope if it's ever like the NFL, I might quit watching it. Or I'll watch my team play, but I wouldn't care about the playoffs. The NFL is not a good system for college football. Fourth and 1, Ohio State. Is that game in overtime? Is that the world's longest football game? 2nd and 7, Syracuse. And he's going to, what was that? Oh, that was almost intercepted. It wasn't. 3rd down and 7. There's 6 minutes and 19 seconds left here in the first half. And we have a big-time 3rd down coming up for Syracuse. Syracuse needs to get something going. Even if they don't get a touchdown before the half, they need to get something on the board. Right now they have a big fat goose egg. And it's a big run by Syracuse, and he just truck sticks somebody. Anyway, it's about a 16-yard gain there. I mean, he just completely flattened that Notre Dame defender, didn't he? 1st and 10, Syracuse. They really needed that. Hell, I hope they score a touchdown just to keep it interesting here. And we have an injured Notre Dame player. Can't tell what's wrong with him. I think he might have got knocked out. He might have got a concussion there. I don't know. Or maybe he hurt his leg. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, Richard Neal. I've made a video about that as well. I'm not going to get into that today because it's too much to talk about right now. But 1st and 10, Syracuse, complete over the 50, all the way down to the 45-yard line. That was a dart he just threw. So I like the arm on this kid. He's made a couple of questionable passes as far as throwing in a tight coverage, but he's got an arm on him. 1st and 10, Syracuse. And it's going to be a screen pass complete for no gain there. Glow, I don't know. There's at least, depending on your cable provider, you know, who you run your internet through, and the YouTube delay, it could be anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds delayed. It just depends. It's different for everybody. 2nd and 12, intercepted by Notre Dame. He's returning it to the 40, inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10, taken down at the 8-yard line. It's the 3rd turnover in the first half by Syracuse. And the 2nd interception thrown by this DeVito guy, backup quarterback. You can't win like that. 3 turnovers in one half, you can't win like that. And like I said before, with 3 turnovers as well as a couple of other bad mistakes, it's a minor miracle that Syracuse is only down by 13 points right now. They could easily be down 28-0 based on the mistakes that they've made. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Yeah, you can't win like that. We haven't heard any update on the injury that Dungey sustained. Let me change the score real quick before I forget. So it's going to be 20-0 Notre Dame over Syracuse. I think there's about 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first half. Is that right? 20-0? Yeah, okay. Got it right. So. All right, so what's the update here on the Ohio State and Maryland game now that we're at commercial? That game's still in overtime. 51-45. Who's winning? Ohio State is. And so what? So Maryland has a chance to tie it, right? 52-45. So I'm guessing that Ohio State got the first possession in the overtime, and now Maryland has a chance to tie them, right? All right, Notre Dame kicks the ball off. And Syracuse is going to return it to about the 28-yard line, their own 28-yard line. And we have another injured player. I think it's a Notre Dame player here. Yeah. So we have another injured Notre Dame player on the field. And I think that they just announced that cost Notre Dame a timeout. That was a weird injury. Oh, he's just got a cramp, man. He just there was no contact there. He just fell to the ground and started grabbing his calf. He's got a cramp. That's all that is. Touchdown Maryland already? So anybody who bet the over in that game, they've won. We're already over 100 points in that game now. Am I free on Black Friday? Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know what my schedule is on Black Friday. As far as family stuff goes, I mean, you know, it's the day after Thanksgiving. I know there's a good game that day, right? Who's playing that day? Somebody asked me to stream a game that day. I can't remember which one it was now. And 1st and 10, they're going to hand the ball off. He's going to pick up about 5 yards there. So there's still 4 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the second quarter. And again, we're in the same situation we were just in. Syracuse needs to get some points on the board, preferably a touchdown if they want to stay in this thing. And so we're going to see 2nd and 6. Pass to the right is incomplete. 3rd and 6. No touchdown for Maryland. What do they call it back? Handoff up the middle. Big run. 1st down and more. All the way up to the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Syracuse from their own 45-yard line. They're having a lot of success running that ball between the tackles. I don't know why they're not doing more of that, honestly. First and 10. DeVito, the ball is batted down and almost intercepted. So it's going to be second down and 10. Just inside of 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. Touchdown, Maryland. Okay. Second down and 10. DeVito is flushed out of the pocket. He runs to his right, throws it up, throws it out of bounds. He just threw that away. There was nothing open down the field there. So it's going to be third and 10. And Syracuse needs a first down in the worst way because there's still plenty of time left in this quarter for if Notre Dame gets the ball back for them to score again, which would effectively put this thing out of hand, I think. Third and 10. DeVito back to pass, and he throws a deep ball down the right sideline, and he's out of bounds. He caught it, but he didn't stay in bounds. Ohio State won. Maryland's going for 2. I'm seeing several people say Ohio State won. What did Maryland not get the 2-point conversion? It's I don't know what they're doing here. 4th and 10. Syracuse punting the ball, and the punt is up. It's a good punt. And they're going to down it right at around the 9-yard line. So a great punt there. 3 minutes and 33 seconds left in the second quarter here. Notre Dame's going to see if they can put some more points on the board before halftime. So Ohio State won by 1 point, 52-51. Wow. Again, like I said before, I mean, if you're an Ohio State fan, you're glad you won the game. But I mean, listen, you're not winning. You're not winning in the postseason against any of these top teams. You're giving up 51 points to Maryland. First and 10, and it's going to be a run for no gain there. It's going to be second and 10. Syracuse still has 2 timeouts, so if you're Syracuse, you need to get a 3 and out here. And you'll still have plenty of time with a couple of timeouts to try to get some points on the board. But you've got to get a 3 and out here. Brandon Wimbush is in the game for Notre Dame. Second and 10. Wimbush is sacked for a loss. That's 2 in a row. So it's going to be 3rd and 12. I don't know why they brought Wimbush in for that play. What was that all about? I didn't say Ohio State will beat Michigan. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. 3rd and 12. A complete. And it's like a first down for Notre Dame. Incomplete pass. It's going to be second down and 10. It's inside of 2 minutes now left in the second quarter. All right, second down and 10 from the 24-yard line. Ian Book back to pass. Incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd and 10, and the clock is going to stop from the incomplete pass. Again, another situation here where Syracuse needs to stop on 3rd and long. There's been at least 4 situations in this first half where Notre Dame has converted at least a 3rd and 10 or longer, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 16. I mean, that's a killer. If you have a 3rd and 10 situation, you got to stop them. Third and 10, Book back to pass, and he's going to throw it up the left side. Incomplete. And I'm looking for a flag here. No flag. So, 4th and 10, Notre Dame will punt. There's still 1 minute and 48 seconds left here. Syracuse is going to get the ball back, and they have 2 timeouts still. So we'll see if they can actually get on the board here before halftime. I think they have more turnovers than they have first downs in this game, though. So it's not looking good. Yeah, I think Michigan will put it all over Ohio State. I mean, if Michigan loses to Ohio State this year, that would be embarrassing. It hasn't been embarrassing for the past few years because Ohio State's just had a better team. But this year, if Michigan lost to Ohio State, that would be embarrassing for Michigan. All right, 1st and 10, and there's a run up the middle. I missed that play. I think he almost got a first down there, maybe about 9 yards, 8 yards. So 2nd down and 2 from the 40-yard line. Another run, and he breaks a couple of tackles. He picks up about 5 yards there, I think. So 1st and 10. You guys are a trip. No, he hasn't been timed out or anything. There he is. And we have another injured Notre Dame player here. I actually agree with you, Church of Bama. I mean, listen. I've said over and over again that Harbaugh has to prove that he can beat Urban Meyer, but there's another side to this story, sir. The side where I actually watched football this season, unlike you, and Michigan is clearly a much better team this year than Ohio State is. I don't think anybody can dispute that. 1st and 10, Syracuse from the 45-yard line, and it's complete around the 50-yard line. I think they'll give them forward progress there, so it's going to be 2nd down and short. 2nd and 5 from the 50. Hey, what's up, Wrong on Purpose? The artist formerly known as Drake Luke. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Otherwise, you'd not be here. Is it just me, or is this the world's longest first half? I mean, no shit. This half has been going on for 2 hours. 2 hours. Hey, what's up, Ryan Maxwell? How you doing, sir? Ryan Maxwell says Ohio State is the Oklahoma of the Big 12. Yeah, you know what? Except that they're not as good as Oklahoma. Their offense is not as good as Oklahoma's. So yeah, but I see what you're saying. 2nd and 5. Quarterback sack. I mean, Syracuse needs their quarterback back, man. Dungey, this kid's slow. He's not a very good runner at all. He cannot escape pressure. Looks like me running around out there. Yeah, yeah. I definitely wouldn't be happy about that. Third and 9, finally. Another sack. Oh, he's going to throw it away. Good job, buddy. This is painful to watch. This first half is just after every single play, there's some sort of something, either an injury or a flag or, I mean, a 2-hour first half is what we just watched. Good Lord. 4th and 9. It's literally been under 2 minutes in the second quarter left for the past 30 minutes. The punt is up and it's out of bounds, way out of bounds. I think he kicked that. He's trying to kick that out of the stadium or something. I don't know what the hell that was. Hey, what's up, Zach? Finally. He's So Notre Dame takes a knee to end the half finally. Put everybody out of their friggin' misery. Yeah, so that's the end of the first half. I'm going to go take a 5-minute intermission. I'm sure you guys should too. Now is the time, if you need to go use the bathroom, get a snack. If you're a smoker, go smoke a cigarette. Right? Go bang your head into a wall. I might do that too. But I'll be back in 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere, please. The second half's going to be better, I promise. Be right back. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome me back. See you later, Glow. Have a good one, sir. The Canes are doing what they do best. What's going on with the? I'm gonna change the channel here. What channel's that game on? During halftime here, I'll check out another game. Let's see, Missouri and Tennessee. Let's see what the score of that one is. Six to nothing, Missouri in the second quarter here. But Tennessee's looks like they're about to score. Boston College and Florida State. That was one of my locks of the week. I picked Boston College to cover that. Boston College is only favored by 1.5 for some ungodly reason. What's the score of that game? What's up, Bradley Aarons? How you doing, sir? I also picked Miami to lose to Virginia Tech. Miami was favored by 5.5 points in that game for some reason. They haven't won a road game all year. Now, Virginia Tech's not good either, but again, Miami hasn't proven that they can win a road game. Bradley says, R.I.P. Syracuse. Yeah, I pretty much feared that Syracuse lost the game as soon as the quarterback got knocked out of the game. And we haven't heard anything about what's really wrong with him. I hope he's okay. But the fact that they took him back to the locker room immediately is an indication that something's seriously wrong. They're giving some x-rays or something. So I doubt we'll see him back in the game. Virginia Tech and Florida State have the two longest bowl streaks, and both are in major jeopardy. Yeah. So Florida State next week has Florida. Let's assume that Florida State loses today, because I think they will. And I don't think they'll beat Florida either. So they probably won't make a bowl game for the first time in how many years did they say? And he's questionable if he will return. That's weird that they said an upper body injury. I guess when he fell down, he was holding his lower back. I guess that's considered an upper body injury. It's above the waist. But yeah, it looked to me like a back injury. He was holding his back. And if it's a back injury, he's definitely not coming back in. Yeah, Zach, Alabama was tied at halftime today. I watched that for whole entire first half. And I don't care how much of an Alabama fan you are, any Alabama fans on here. If you're going to sit there and watch Alabama struggle with the Citadel for 30 minutes and then come on here and tell me that they're unbeatable, listen, Alabama's going to – I'm convinced more than ever now after watching them play Mississippi State last week and their offense struggled, and watching them play the Citadel today and struggle for at least half of the game, I think that Alabama's going to lose a game. I don't think they're going to win at all. I think they'll lose to either Georgia or Clemson or Michigan or somebody, whoever they play in the playoffs. Tennessee scores a touchdown. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to lose because they're still number one in the country, but they're definitely beatable. Definitely. I mean, if you're going to troll Church of Bama, I mean, at least be creative. Kansas and Les Miles would be a force to be reckoned with. Yeah. I'm interested to see how much they're going to pay him, what his salary is going to be. Ohio State should fall out of the top 10. Yeah, I doubt that they will. That would only depend on some of the other teams, what happens with some of the other teams. Well, so Church of Bama, I mean, I give you all the leverage in the world, sir. And, you don't know the rules here by now? So, there's your first warning, sir. There's your first warning. And if you want to cross the line again, then I'll just get rid of you completely. So, that's up to you. Literally like 2 plays away from being 7-3. I get that win is a win, but still. Yeah. Listen, Ohio State, they're not good enough to win. They're not worthy of a playoff spot. They're just not. And it's not because they have a lack of talent on their team. I said whenever all this stuff went down with Urban Meyer before the season started that was going to affect the team, and it clearly is. And losing Bosa did not help, but I don't know if you can blame. I mean, he's a great player and everything, but I don't know. That's not the whole problem there. There's more going on than just not having Bosa. Let me go ahead and change this. Change the quarter before I forget. Let me see. It seems like their defense is just slow. There's something going on there. Every time I look, I see them getting burnt by a random running back or a wide receiver or something. Yeah. Again, there's something else going on with that team outside of X's and O's. They don't seem to have the effort. I don't know. Something's not right there. That's all I know. Yeah, the linebackers play, and delusional Paul Jameson, which, by the way, I haven't seen him on here in a while. Wonder where old Paul's been at. Ever since Ohio State started looking not so good, he's kind of disappeared. But anyway, Paul's a good guy. He said it at the beginning of the season that, well before the Purdue game, that the linebackers were way below par for Ohio State. So I'm not surprised to hear you say that. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that or not. I mean, Northwestern is still a 3-loss team or a 4-loss team? I think Ohio State can still beat Northwestern. So I don't know about that. I just don't think Ohio State's going to beat Michigan. The USC and UCLA game is picking up 17-14. 17-14 who? Who's winning? How did Dungey hurt his back? I don't know. It was weird because he had a run play where he kept the ball, and there was no obvious sort of like helmet to the back or anything. I don't know if he just like tweaked his back, some kind of freak injury. But, yeah, he got up and tried to run the next play and then just fell to the ground holding his back. It was weird. Hey, what's up, LSU Tigers? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Otherwise, now I'd be here. One loss Ohio State or a one loss Bama? Alabama's a better team than Ohio State. So if I was on the committee, I would definitely pick Alabama over Ohio State. But that might not be what it comes down to. I don't think it will be. The question would be a one-loss Ohio State over a one-loss Oklahoma, or a one-loss Ohio State or over a one-loss West Virginia. Something like that would be the debate, I think, not Alabama. Okay, so Southern Cal's up by 3 points. Gotcha. Keep me go 13:30. Keep me updated on that game every so often, please, sir, since you're clearly watching it. Debo says he'd rank UCF over Ohio State. Well, listen, they're only one ranking apart. You might see that happen. Well, I mean, first of all, it'll depend on how UCF plays tonight. If UCF loses tonight, they'll fall out of the top 20 altogether, I think. But it's possible. They could flip spots. All right, so here we go at the beginning of the third quarter here, and Syracuse is receiving. The kick is up, and he's going to return it, and he's going to do a spin move, and all of that. He just ran about 80 yards for a very short return, but anyway, he's out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And apparently Brian Kelly, the head coach for Notre Dame, is disappointed in his team's performance in the first half, even though they got 3 turnovers. He's not happy with that. Michigan's losing 7-3 to Indiana. What happened to Eric Dungey? I don't know. He has some sort of back injury, I think. All right, 1st and 10. Syracuse runs up the middle for about 3 yards there. Yeah, so C. Carter, they haven't really said what's wrong with Eric Dungey. All they said is he has an upper body injury, but he was holding his back. So 2nd down and 7. And he was knocked out in when was that? The end of the first quarter? Beginning of the second quarter, somewhere around there. I'll get to that comment here in just a second after this, when I have a second, Bradley. 3rd and 5 from the 31-yard line. And they have, it looks to be, I don't know, who is that guy? He looks like a defensive line or an offensive lineman. And they run up the middle for no gain. Hold on a second here. Go back to that question. Oh, that wasn't a question. It was a statement. Okay, he says he thinks a one-loss Michigan or Ohio State gets in over a one-loss Alabama just because they would be a conference championship. Yeah, that's possible. Here's the thing, though. I don't think that Alabama will be competing with Michigan or Ohio State for a spot because, first of all, Michigan's already in the top 4. So I think it would be more of a discussion. Would it be a one-loss Oklahoma over a one-loss Alabama? 4th and 4, and Syracuse is punting, or a one-loss West Virginia. And it's going to be taken back to, and he's going to break some tackles and more. He returns it all the way up to the 47-yard line. He should have been taken down probably about 15 yards before that, but he broke about 5 tackles. Hey, what's up, UCF Jaguar? Good afternoon to you, sir. Hey, good luck tonight, man. For anybody who doesn't know, UCF Jaguar, a great video maker. He does mostly Jaguar videos. I mean, Jacksonville Jaguar videos. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're a UCF graduate, right? He says he's going to the game. I hope you have a great time, sir. 1st and 10. And a quarterback keeper. and he's going to pick up 10 yards. I think he's going to get the first down. What did they do? What happened there? The Syracuse guy ended up with the ball, but I guess they were saying he stripped it after he was out of bounds. Let's see here. Hell no, he stripped the ball before he went out of bounds. I don't know about this. Is anybody else seeing this? What do you think? Well, anyway, 1st and 10. Book. And there's a flag on the play. He got short of the first down. And I think this flag's going to be against Syracuse. I don't know what. Yeah, there was a great showing at College Game Day today. That was a cool scene. What is this flag about? Face mask against Syracuse, of course. So there's another 15-yard penalty there. Hey, UCF, I actually, not to rain on your parade or anything, or not that it matters what I think. I picked Cincinnati to upset UCF today, but I don't know anything about either one of those teams, to be honest with you. I could be completely wrong. Probably am. So 1st and 10, and they're going to pick up about 9 yards on the play there. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Second and 2. And it's going to be a handoff. First down and more. Taken down around the 12-yard line. 1st and 10. Notre Dame from the 12-yard line there. Ball is handed off. Run up the middle for about a yard. Be 2nd and 9. The red zone defense for Syracuse today, and there's been a lot of it because Notre Dame has spent a lot of time in the red zone, has been really good for Syracuse. I mean, between the 20s, though, they've been atrocious. Second and 10. Run up the middle for no gain. Huh? What? No. He thinks he's a good troll. That's not even a good troll job, sir. UCF has more wins over Auburn in the past 12 months than Alabama does, too. 3rd and 12. Ian Book back to pass. He's flushed out to the right. Complete for about 5 yards there. And there's another flag on the play. Go figure. And this is going to be against Notre Dame, I think. Holding. What's up, Jaleel Johnson? Good afternoon, sir. Hughes is looking like fool's gold right now. Yeah, I mean, they've committed mental mistake after mental mistake. I mean, bad turnovers. They had 3 turnovers in the first half. The fact that it's only 20-0 right now is amazing. They should be down by more than that. Syracuse's defense, for being not a very good defense, is actually played pretty well in this game. Their offense has just not been able to do anything other than run the ball. Their passing game has just been terrible. And you can't get down, you can't turn the ball over 3 times, get down 3 scores, and then just not be able to pass the ball. That's not going to work. All right, so field goal is good there by Notre Dame. So we'll 23-0. Change the score real quick. These last few drives, Syracuse's defense has actually stepped up and either held them to no score or field goals, which is great. But again, Syracuse, they got to get some kind of offense going. Something. I mean, I feel like they have more interceptions than they do completions. And I know that's not the case exactly, but I'm not far off. Their defense numbers, especially sacks, aren't bad. I don't know who you're talking about. Seven to 3, Indiana over Michigan. What quarter is that in? It's not good. Late in the first. Where is that game? It's in Indiana, isn't it? Yeah, we got a primetime game tonight, and we got a primetime game next week against the Boom Chickens. Oh, it's in Michigan. Okay. All right, here we go. So Notre Dame's going to kick the ball off here. 23-0. And he receives it in the end zone and runs it out. And he's taken down at the 20-yard line. I don't know why he didn't just kneel that. Pitt clinched the Coastal today. Well, we all knew that was going to happen. So first down and 10, Syracuse from the 21-yard line. And it's going to be handed off and for no gain. Actually, maybe about a yard lost there. It's going to be 2nd and 11 here, I think. Yeah. Second and 11. A sack for another 3 or 4 yard loss there. I mean, Notre Dame might set a sack record today. There's been at least 6 sacks already. Stetson Riley. No. I can't show you the screen. It's copyright infringement. 3rd and 16. Another sack. It's about to be 4th and a mile. And we got some pushing and shoving going on here. Syracuse's offensive line can't stop. I mean, Notre Dame's just destroying that offensive line. Look at that. Within 2 seconds, there was 3 Notre Dame players all over him. He had no time to do anything. Has the Syracuse backup thrown the ball yet? He's thrown it a couple times, and he's also got a couple of interceptions already. And he can't run. That's apparent. He's been, flushed out of the pocket a couple of times, and the guy, I'm faster than he is. The guy's slow as molasses. That's a big problem for Syracuse because Dino Babers' offense, you need a running quarterback. That's the type of offense they run. And Dungey's a great running quarterback. This kid's not. Chris Berman at the Georgia UMass game. Is he calling the game? Who do I want to win this Notre Dame and Syracuse game? I don't care. I'm not a fan of either team. Yeah, I don't have a preference. I actually said a few weeks ago that I wanted Notre Dame to win out. Because if Clemson wins out, Notre Dame wins out, Alabama wins out, I feel like that the rankings will stay where they are, and I would like to see Clemson play Notre Dame in the first round of the playoff. So touchdown UCLA, 17-21, UCLA up. Good. So you agree. You would like to see your team play against Clemson in the first round of the playoffs. Well, we're probably going to see that because I don't see Notre Dame losing next week to Southern Cal, which I think that they will definitely get in the playoff as a undefeated team at 12-0, despite the fact they don't have a conference championship game. I think they'll maintain their number 3 spot, and provided that Clemson wins out, they'll probably end up playing each other. So we'll both get our wish. Yeah, UCLA's no good. Yeah, the game was pretty much probably over whenever Dungey got hurt. That offense revolves around him. He's a really good player, and he's got a really good command of that offense too. All right, so 1st and 10, it's going to be incomplete. So 2nd and 10, 7 minutes and 19 seconds left here in the third quarter. From the 49-yard line. And we got a reverse. And Cuse read that all the way, and they take him down for a loss of a couple of yards there. 7-6 Indiana over Michigan. Huh. I would like to Clemson versus Michigan when Notre Dame versus them. They are no good. 3rd and 12. Throws the ball up, and they're going to throw a flag. They're going to call a pass interference, which I don't know why. That ball was not catchable. It was 5 yards out of bounds. And that's what Dino Babers is saying to the ref. He's saying that ball was not catchable. Yeah, pass interference against Syracuse. That ball was not catchable. Watch this. I mean, it hit the personal trainer over on the sideline. He'll be taken down after about only a 1 yard gain there. The second and maybe 8. Almost intercepted. Sorry, I was reading the comments there. Anyway, that ball was almost intercepted. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. 5 minutes and 53 seconds here in the left in the third quarter. Tua has jelly for a knee. Third down and 7. From the 45-yard line. 35-yard line, sorry. And Book is being flushed out of the pocket. He extends the play complete to around the 30-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down there, though. So what do you do here? I'm assuming I would go for it if I were Notre Dame. They are – it'd still be somewhat of a long field goal, but well within their range to kick a field goal if they wanted to. But what do you have to lose? You're up 23-0. You know, this is sort of no man's land on the field. Go for it. It's going to be 4th and 1. They're going for it. Book, play action, and he's flushed out to the right. Throws it complete at the 11-yard line, out of bounds to the tight end, I think. So 1st and 10 from the 11. Indiana's defense held Michigan to 2 field goals. All right, 1st and 10 from the 11. Going to hand the ball off, and he's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage there, so it's going to be 2nd and 10, I think. Justin Fields looks legit. Yeah. Is he actually playing today? Are they letting him throw the ball, or is he just going to go in there and hand it off? 2nd down and 9. And the ball is handed off, run up the middle for about 2 yards. Excuse me, the hiccups. It's going to be about 3rd and 7 here, I think. Oh, he did. He threw a touchdown pass. Third and 8 from the 10-yard line. And Syracuse brings pressure, and it's going to be complete for a touchdown, Notre Dame. And that is probably all she wrote. Change the score real quick. So far today, the only really good game was Maryland and Ohio State so far, right? And of course, this Citadel and Alabama was a great game for the first half. But I thought this was going to be a much closer game. I mean, losing the quarterback in the first half was, I mean, they haven't recovered from that. Not that they would have won anyways, but it would have been at least a more interesting game up until this point. So it's going to be 30-0, right? Screen because of the beginning of the second quarter. that Dungey went down. I think it was the end of the first quarter. Missouri is secretly a good football team. They have a good offense. See you later, Clemson Carson. Thanks for stopping in, sir. See you next time. And Ashton Owens, yes, Dungey got hurt. Eli Sheets, the extra point was no good. Is that true? Well, I'll have to change that one then, won't I? I didn't even watch it. Yeah, there's been a lack of drama so far this year in football for the most part. But I still hold out hope. I think that we're going to see a lot of drama here in the last couple of weeks. Because, again, I still think somebody in the top 4 is going to lose before the playoffs, whether it's Alabama or whether it's Clemson or whether it's Michigan or somebody, Georgia. Somebody's going to lose. Maybe a couple of teams are going to lose, and that's going to cause a lot of drama when it comes to selection time for the playoffs. Bradley says, if it wasn't for the rain against South Carolina and the BS pass interference call against Kentucky, they would be 8-2. Who? Who are you talking about? Oh, it's 29. So, yeah, they did miss the extra point. Let me change that. Fix that. Oh, Missouri. All right, here we go. First and 10, Syracuse from the 32. A little screen pass for a loss of 1 or 2 there. Yeah, you're down 29-0 towards the end of the third quarter. Let's throw screen passes all day that haven't worked. That'll get you back in the game. All right, second down and 11. Handoff. Taken down after no gain again. It'll be 3rd and 11. Tiger Nate, you're going to the Duke game tonight? Man, you go to every game, don't you? You are a trooper, sir. Have you been to every game this year? Even the away ones? I know you were at Boston last week. 3rd and 12. And it's going to be complete for another no gain. 4th and long here. The punt team will come out on the field. Anyway, have fun, Tiger Nate. You thought Dungey was having a seizure. Punt is up. It's going to be received at the 35-yard line, and he's going to be taken down at around the 40. So Notre Dame will take over at their own 40-yard line. 1 minute and 32 seconds left in the third quarter. 29-0. Notre Dame's putting it all over Syracuse. Billy Dawson is back from the Alabama game. Hope you had a good time, sir. What was the final score of that game? Did they cover? Because I turned it off when it was, I think it was 40. When I turned it off, I want to say it was 42-10, I think. What was the final score of the Alabama Citadel game? Because I picked the Citadel to cover the 52. 50-17, so Citadel did cover. So far, got that one right. I'm probably going to get the Syracuse game wrong because I picked them to cover the 10, and they're not going to cover the 10 probably. So, big fat loss on that one. So that's 1-1. And the rest of these games haven't been played yet, or they're being played right now. So we'll see. Any word on Dungey? Good afternoon, AJ Miller. Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. No, all they've said is that he's not going to return and that he has a upper body injury. I don't know what that means. It looks to me like he has a back injury, but I don't know. RIP Tennessee. Huh? That game's not anywhere close to over, is it? Yeah, halftime, 26-10. That game's not over. Although I did pick Missouri to win that game. They probably will. Hey, Ryan Stanfield, good afternoon, sir. What are you doing? Did you watch the Alabama game today? I bet you were probably pissed, at least for the first half of the game. So 1st and 10, Notre Dame from the 40. And that ball is almost intercepted. But it was dropped by the defender there, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10. A minute and 23 seconds left here in the third quarter. 9-7, Michigan over Indiana. That's a great question. Anyway, they hand it off here, and he's going to run up the middle for about 8 yards there. So it's going to be 3rd and 2. Notre Dame Nation asks, why is Notre Dame passing run the clock? Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I agree. You called Uncle Lou saying Citadel was going to beat Alabama. And there's a flag on the play. It's going to be a false start against Notre Dame. So they turn a 3rd and 2 into a 3rd and long. Third and 7. Clemson plays Duke tonight. 3rd and 7. Ian Book steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be taken down for a sack. Yeah, for the first half, you look like a genius. The second half, you look like a dumbass. You know what's funny, though? The Citadel scored more points on Alabama than Mississippi State and LSU combined. Now, I don't know if that says something about Alabama or if that says something about LSU and Mississippi State. Listen, the triple option, if you're not used to it, is hard to defend. Believe me, Clemson plays Georgia Tech every single year. But, you know, the fact that Alabama only scored 10 points, though, on offense in the first half was pretty alarming, actually. I did not expect that. Duke could pull the upset. Yeah, I mean, for Duke's not a bad team. They're not a bad team at all. I mean, I'd be highly surprised if they won the game, but I said this earlier. There's only 4 teams in the Power 5 that this year have at least 4 road wins against other Power 5 teams. One is Clemson, one's Alabama, one is Duke, and who's the other one? Northwestern. So there's only 4 teams in all of America that have that many road wins, and so Duke's one of them. So they play well on the road. They have an NFL caliber quarterback. They have a solid defense. They have the best coach, in my opinion. Not the best coach, probably the second best coach in the ACC. David Cutcliffe is an amazing coach. For him to do what he's done at Duke with the talent that they get at Duke is nothing short of amazing. So, yes, Duke is not a pushover. If you don't show up to play, they can beat you. Yes, I do work my ass off. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Notre Dame and Clemson would be a good game. Well, I agree. I think we'll get to see it. I hope we get to see it, because the only way I don't think we will see it is if Clemson loses somewhere. Because Notre Dame's going to win today, and, I mean, there's almost zero chance that they lose next week against a bad Southern Cal team. So that puts them at 12-0 and in the playoff. Only way it wouldn't happen, I think, is if Clemson dropped a game somewhere, whether it's this week or in the ACC championship game. We're not losing to South Carolina. So, yeah. Believe me, Duke is better than South Carolina, so is Pitt. South Carolina. So, how Alabama had their cupcake game this week against the Citadel? We have our cupcake game next week against the Boom Chickens. That's our bye week. Family's great, man. The boys are great. Listen, sir, you're going to blink your eyes and your kids are going to be... I mean, my oldest is 11 now, and it feels like he was just born yesterday. It's crazy how quickly the kids grow up. You'll blink your eyes, the kid will be walking. You'll blink your eyes, the kid will be going to first grade. It's just it's crazy. I hope UCF in Cincinnati is a good game, says Nick Bro. I think it will be a good game. That's an interesting theory, Eli. Hold on here. 1st and 10, Syracuse. And another screen pass. What are they doing? It hasn't worked all day. They've been throwing these stupid screen passes, bubble screens. And for what? What are you doing? You're down 29-0. It hasn't worked all day. It's not going to work now. You're not going to get back in the game by throwing screen passes. So, I mean, I don't know if they've just given up or what's going on here. Hold on. I'll get to your comment in a second there. 2nd down and 10. Dungey, another drop pass. Clemson could possibly end up being ranked number 1 and end up playing number 4 ranked. That is possible. I mean, I think it's unlikely if Alabama wins out. Here's the only way it's going to happen. Beats everybody by 50 points for the rest of the year, and they might leapfrog them in that way. I just don't see Alabama getting jumped as long as they win. No matter how they win, as long as they win, I think they'll stay at number 1. But it is possible. First and 10, Syracuse. And you're going to run the ball for about 8 yards. Are they going to give them the first down there? No, they're not. 2nd down and 1. Back to pass. And he's going to throw it out of bounds. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 1. Clemson and Bama in the ship. Hope y'all bust them up. Well, if that ends up happening, I agree. I hope so too. If Alabama loses to Georgia, they still get in. I don't know about that. It depends on what some of these other teams do. 3rd and 1. And they're going to run up the middle for about 8 yards there. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Syracuse. I'm not convinced that if Alabama loses to Georgia that they'll get in. And the reason I say that is, first of all, it's never happened. You're better off not playing in the SEC championship game playoffs. If that happens, I don't see that happening this year. Not that it couldn't happen. I just don't see it happening. You're more likely to see a 1-loss Oklahoma, a 1-loss Ohio State, a 1-loss Michigan. Not Michigan. They're already in the top 4. There's at least 2 or 3 other teams that would get in that spot ahead of Alabama unless they catch another loss. Yeah, I didn't watch the entire game, Billy. I watched the first half though. That was it. See you later, AJ Miller. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that too. Yeah, we can agree to disagree. Hell, your guess is as good as mine, man. I mean, who knows what these jokers are thinking on the playoff committee? Uncool Phil says UCF is a good football team. Yeah, they are. A lot of good football teams, though. UCF is a top 20 team, in my opinion. They're not a top 5 team. Not a top 4 team. The ref just tackled a West Virginia player. What? So 2nd and 10, Syracuse, and it's going to be complete. And he's going to get a first down, I think. See where they spot that. He goes out of bounds. Time is running out, though. You're down 29 points here. 12 minutes and 45 seconds left here in this 4th quarter. Uncool Phil says they're a top 10 team in his opinion. Yeah, and a lot of people share your opinion, but I don't agree with that. So, but you know, 1st and 10, and he's going to hand it off for no gain again. Ten to 9, Indiana. Over Michigan. The battle of the field goals. That game sounds boring, but at least it's close, unlike this one. 2nd down and 9. And we're going to have another sack. There's got to be a record. This has got to be a record. Somebody look this up. How many times has Syracuse been sacked today? It's been at least, I'm going to make a guess of 10. There's got to be at least 10 sacks right now. Maybe more. If Michigan barely beats Indiana, will Georgia leapfrog them? No, the only reason I say that is because Georgia played 3rd and 14, and the quarterback just throws it away. He had no shot. He was running for his life. He looks like he might be hurt. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was hurt. He's been sacked a million times. That's not a very bold prediction. I actually picked Cincinnati to upset UCF tonight. Cincinnati's a pretty good team, too. But I also give the disclaimer that I don't know enough about either team to make an educated decision on that or opinion. Here's what I do know. I do know that Cincinnati has not given up. Hold on. 4th and 14, and they go for it. And it's caught. Oh, and he drops it. I mean, there's a flag. That's what I was looking for. That's going to be a pass interference, I think. So here's what I do know about Cincinnati and UCF. So Cincinnati has not given up more than 30 points to any team this season, and UCF averages more than 30 points in every game they play. So you're talking about UCF probably has the best offense in the group of five, and I think Cincinnati probably has the best defense in the group of five, and Cincinnati also has a really good defense. So, yeah, if you look at it from that standpoint, I think Cincinnati has a very good shot of beating UCF. But I think it'll be a high-scoring game, somewhere in the upper 30s, lower 40s range for both teams. Second down and 7. Can Syracuse actually score? We'll see. Complete to the sideline, but he's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2 or 3. Right around 10 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the game. They are running out of time. Yeah, I would put in Wimbush too, and I would just run the ball. Forget about, you don't need to throw it. It's a time game now. Notre Dame has no business throwing the football for the rest of the game. 3rd and 3, and Syracuse is going to get the first down and more, down around the 11-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 11. Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame, they can literally not throw another single pass in this game and be okay. And that's what I would do if I were them. I would take Book out. 1st and 10. And Syracuse runs the ball to the right. He had a lane there, but the good open field tackle there by the Notre Dame defender. Be 2nd down and about 6, I think, maybe 5. Pretty much, Bradley. Pretty much. I think you're right. Another run up the middle for no gain. After this week, Alabama won 2 Notre Dame, 3 Clemson, 4 Oklahoma. I don't think so. I don't think – well, I mean, listen, that depends on Clemson's performance tonight against Duke, but I don't think anybody's getting leapfrogged at 1. The only way I could see that happening is if somehow Clemson – went down to overtime with Duke or something. Maybe Notre Dame might leapfrog them, but as long as Clemson wins, I don't think they're going to get leapfrogged by anybody. And it doesn't matter. There's no difference between spots 2 and 3 anyways. They play each other. So it's 4th and 4 now. Oklahoma is overrated. I hear a lot of people saying stuff like that, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. I mean, they have one of the worst defenses in America. They got one of the top 3 offenses in America. There's not a lot of balance there. But if you just look at, I mean, if you're going to say they're overrated, so what you're saying is that they're ranked too high for how good they are, right? So who's behind them that is better than them? That's what you have to look at. Who's behind them that they would lose to, most likely? There's not really anybody. I mean, I can't think of one. It feels like Oklahoma only has 7 players on defense at all times. Yeah, that's what they look like, too. Well, but Eli, yeah, okay. Listen, I agree with you. That's a good one. West Virginia. But here's the thing. We're going to find that out anyway next week. They play each other. So that'll be settled on the field. There's no reason to speculate about that. But I do agree. I think West Virginia is better than Oklahoma all around. They have a great offense as well, and they have a much better defense. But outside of that, that game will be settled on the field. So outside of West Virginia, how many other teams that are ranked behind Oklahoma do you think that would beat Oklahoma? Ohio State will be back in the top 4 after they beat Michigan anyway. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. That's a big leap to jump from 10 to 4. Syracuse just missed a friggin' 23-yard field goal. Oh my God. That game's over. It was over anyway, but it's definitely over now. Washington State, no, I don't think so. I don't think Washington State could beat anybody in the top 10. That's my theory. Have you seen Washington State's schedule? They might have the worst schedule in all of America, and they do have one loss to a bad USC team as well. But yeah. Georgia has about 15 yards per play. UMass defense is the worst. Yeah, I didn't even realize UMass had a football program till a couple of years ago. I thought they were just a basketball school. Yeah, this game was over when Dungey got hurt in the what was it, first quarter, second quarter, whenever it was. Whenever he got hurt, the game ended. I mean, they have zero offense. Their quarterback like I said, he's been sacked probably 10 times. He can't escape the pocket. He's not mobile like Dungey is. He's the best running quarterback in the ACC. And they rely a lot on his legs to make big plays. And once he gets hurt, then Notre Dame's defense is too good to have a statue quarterback back there who can't make plays. So it sucks that this game was not competitive for everybody who's watching the game. Like I said, I could care less. I'm not a Syracuse fan, not a Notre Dame fan. I could care less who wins the game, but I wanted to see something competitive because there's just not a lot of great football games on today, and probably more than half of the games that I've done live streams for have been like this, have been blowouts. And I like to see competitive game just for entertainment purposes. Syracuse is ranked 12 and Notre Dame destroyed them. Why wouldn't they jump Clemson? Again, we can argue till the cows come home about whether or not you think Notre Dame is better than Clemson. It had a more impressive win today than Clemson, which Clemson hasn't even played yet. I'm not disagreeing with you, dude. All I'm saying is the way that the committee has pretty much said that they work things, teams don't get jumped when they win most of the time. We'll find out on Tuesday whether or not Notre Dame jumps them or not. I say if Clemson wins, that they won't get jumped. If they did get jumped, I wouldn't care either. As long as they're in the top 4 at the end of the season, that's all I care about. Washington State is an underdog next week against Washington, and that's not surprising to me. I mean, if you look at the records between the two, you'd say Washington State should be favored. But if you look at the rosters between the two and the history, and especially recent history of that game between the two, I'm not surprised Washington's favored. And I also wouldn't be surprised if Washington actually won the game. I actually think that they will. I think Washington State will lose to Washington next week. Yeah, a good question. What is the Michigan score? I watched the entire first half of the game, Billy, the Alabama and Citadel game. I didn't catch hardly any of the second half, but 15-10. That's a hell of a score. How did they get to 15? So what was their... How did they get to 15 points? You can't get there with field goals. That would be 16. Wait, no. I'm sorry. 5 field goals. That's 15, right? Jesus. Can't even multiply. What's up, Andrew? 17-15. I got it. What channel is that on? That's a better game than this one. I'd rather watch 15 million field goals get kicked than watch Syracuse quarterbacks get sacked 85 times in a row. Here it is. FS1. Where's Mark Dudley at? I know he's probably about to throw himself off of a bridge. Mark Dudley is our resident Michigan fan who's a moderator here. He's a good guy. Damn, it's still the second quarter, huh? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to broadcast the rest of this first half before I get off here of this Michigan-Indiana game. There's no reason for me to go back to the Syracuse-Notre Dame game. It's over, and it's boring, quite frankly. So 1st and 10, Michigan. And they're going to pick up about 4 yards on the play there, maybe 5. Clock is ticking here. 1 minute and 20 seconds left here in the second quarter. Did Mark leave? No, he was just here. He was just in the chat a couple of minutes ago. I mean, he left the chat here. Yeah, I don't know where. I mean, he's probably watching the game. 2nd and 6. Big passing play by Michigan. Complete down the field. And he's going to get all the way down to, it looks like they're around the 15 or 20. I can't tell. Where the hell are the numbers on the field? Down to the 15, it looks like. And we have an injured Indiana player. Or 2 injured Indiana players. There he is. He's right there. I see him. I don't know if that was a... I mean, he was wide open. That was a busted coverage by Indiana. See you later, Donnie. All right, so the clock is running again. We're inside a minute here. From the 15-yard line, Michigan. And he's going to hand the ball off, and they're going to pick up another 5 yards there. So all the way down to the 10-yard line. Clock continues to run. Michigan still has 1 timeout. So they're going to hurry up to the line here and try to get another play off here before... instead of using a timeout. Another handoff run up the middle. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4. It's going to be 3rd and 1, I think. And Harbaugh calls a timeout with 24 seconds left here. So there's been no... Michigan has not scored a touchdown in this game, right? Missouri 26-17 over Tennessee with 12 minutes left in the third. Excuse me. Whoever's got Michigan's field goal kicker in fantasy this week is killing it. Hell, Michigan's field goal kicker scored more fantasy points than all of Syracuse's offense did combined. All right, here we go. 3rd and 2. And we got a timeout by Indiana. I swear I'm cursed. Every time I turn a game on, it takes an hour and a half to run 30 seconds off the clock. What's up, the United States of Tennessee? How you doing? That's a hell of a name you got there. Is there a limit to how many characters you can use in a YouTube name? Because if there is, you are right at it. I just want to see the end of this quarter. I want to see if Michigan can actually get a touchdown. USC 24-21 over UCLA, start of the 3rd quarter. That looks like a good game, too. Should I get SEC football tube in here? I don't know. Should you? 3rd and 2. Another handoff, and he's going to get the first down. Gets taken down around the 3-yard line there. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3, but the clock continues to run. 19 seconds left, 18. Patterson, pass, complete, and he's hit as soon as he catches it right around the 2-yard line. 6 seconds left, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of the half. What happened? Why did Jim Harbaugh had one more timeout, didn't he? What just happened? Mark Dudley, what the hell just happened? Did he not have another timeout left? He's arguing with the officials. Yeah. So, wow. All right, that's it. I've seen enough. Thank you for everybody who stopped in today. Thanks for everybody who commented. Thank you to all of my moderators. Thank you for everybody who argued with me. Thank you for everybody who didn't argue with me. Every single one of you that came in here today is amazing and fantastic. That's why you are here. You guys are what makes this fun for me to do. Otherwise, it would be me sitting here talking to myself. Before you go, please remember to hit the like button. If you haven't not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that. It's free, and hit the bell. If you want to support the show, there's a link in the description of this video to the Patreon page. You click on that. It takes you a few minutes to sign up for it. You can read about the benefits of becoming a Patreon member. I want to give a special shout out to both Billy Dawson and Tiger Nation for being the first to sign up for the Patreon page. Yeah, I guess that's it. If I don't see you guys between now and next week, next week is Thanksgiving week, so I'll still plan on doing a live show Thursday afternoon at 4 p.m. like I normally do. Obviously, I won't be doing one on Thursday at 4 p.m. because that's actually Thanksgiving Day. I've had a couple of requests to stream a game on Black Friday. I can't say whether or not I'm going to do that. I'll have to let you guys know. Because obviously family stuff going on and all of that. But anyway, despite the fact this game was terrible, I had a great time. Go Tigers. Congratulations to Notre Dame on a big win. I'm going to be watching the rest of this game since this game looks good, the Michigan and Indiana game. But thank you, everybody, for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Have a great day and a good night. Pegame and Peete checking out.